this over here. Chat. Post all notifications.
No, I was wondering, you know, in your live streams where you put like 1 to 15 or 1 to 21, what does that mean?
It's just a date, so like people can keep up with it.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like if you've watched Max, dude, I'm just a fucking carbon copy of that guy. Yeah, like he was
Yeah.
my inspiration.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't realize that Max does it. I can't see your video, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know how you've managed to work it out. Like your streams look great for like your guests. On
Yeah.
my Discord, I can't get my cam to be at two places at once.
Oh, yeah. No, if you're running it off something else
Yeah.
and it doesn't work for me either. I have to shut everything down and open up one. So that's fine though. I can see you on YouTube, so it's all good.
All right, sweet. Just to give everybody like time to get in here, I have like a jumping question. It's more of a personal question. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I was just gonna put your link in my Discord
All right.
because some people are asking to watch. Uh,
Hey, what's up, Quatari? I have a hard time saying your name. What's up, chat? How are you guys doing?
all right, yeah, no, fire away, bro. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. More of a personal question, dude. You look great, man. I've heard you say that you take care of your mom, you work a full-time job, you do content creation, and you like hit the gym rigorously, bro. Like, what's that like? That takes some fucking discipline, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I work two jobs. I it's difficult. I wake up at 6 a.m. usually, and I'll try and go gym then, or I'll try and get some content stuff out of the way. Like I'll plan out what I want to talk about, or I'll go gym. So I'll kind of mix it up depending on how I feel in the morning. I'm not one of those people that I used to be would force myself into the gym,
Yeah.
and then I'd have like a miserable workout, but I would do it just to say I've done it. Now, if I wake up energetic, I'll go. Um, I try to make a point of drinking like banana and mango smoothies every morning now, rather than having a tea.
Yeah.
And then in terms of work, I'll start at like 9, I'll finish at 5, and then I'll either do some content creation or go to the gym. My second job is usually a bit more sporadic. It depends on where I'm needed. So sometimes I'll do it over the weekend. So it can be tiring, but it's not the content creation side is not hard. It's fun. Like everybody makes it really fun. So just try to keep my calories down, drink loads of water, and I don't know. Like I try to not think about work too much. It's there. It pays well. It pays the bills. So yeah.
Yeah. What's your split look like at the gym, dude? Do you do like a 5 day or like a 3 day split?
It's changed up a bit since like mid 2024 because I was doing a lot of jujitsu, and that was taking up a lot of my time because I started going with one of my friends. So
Yeah.
I switched from like lifting heavy to like doing jujitsu just because it's so tiring. Now I'm doing because I've got a bit of a knee injury. I haven't been back for I'd say like 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm doing I do chest and triceps, and then I'll do back and I'll do legs on separate days. And I used to do shoulders with chest, but I've given it its own day now as well.
Yeah.
I'll be real with you though. It really depends on how I feel on the day. I've tried to not structure things too much because I tend to get bored. So
Right.
sometimes I'll go on YouTube and look at like vintage workouts or Athlete X, and I'll be like, oh, I just want to do this workout today, and I'll do that. Sometimes I just want to run and get on the cross trainer or go running outside. So it depends on my mood.
Right. Yeah, jujitsu, man. I did that for a little bit. You are not wrong. That shit, an hour of that, I feel like I've worked out for like fucking half a day after I get done with like an
Yeah,
hour of jujitsu. That shit's crazy.
it's the other than well, actually no, it's more tiring than swimming. Swimming's pretty tiring as well, but yeah, jujitsu is tiring. It is brutal.
Yeah.
Almost everybody that I've ever like rolled with has injured their knee or injured
Yep.
their shoulder. I made the dumb mistake of not tying my hair up once, and I rolled one way, the guy rolled the other way, and he took a chunk of my hair with him.
Mm.
So that really fucking hurt. But yeah, no, I've always loved doing martial arts. I did Shotokan for a long time. I did Muay Thai with my friend's uncle, who was like a champion over in Romania. That was pretty rough because he was just like from the streets and he was a pretty rough guy. And anytime he wanted to take a break, he'd scream at us. So it was a bit over the top. Like I
Yeah.
think he'd watched too many films.
Yeah. he was on that Rocky shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
But looks like we got some people in here, so I guess we can kick off like the hardcore questions. Everybody's wanting to know, bro. I absolutely saw that post the other day with Fate, dude. And I just gotta know, when it comes to Fate, I'm familiar with some of the lore, but I dipped out and just really came back and started paying attention like last month. So I know like a few of the more egregious things he's done, the whole Allah debacle. But what really like started like this beef between y'all, bro?
What started the beef was I knew who Fate was. I wasn't subscribed to his channel because I didn't really appreciate his content very much. But I was like, he's just another YouTuber.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna say anything about him. And people, he made a video about me saying that he likes that I'm praising Tekken and that I'm getting people away from Mortal Kombat. And I saw it, I watched it, and I left it because I had nothing to say. It was whatever. And people kept on bringing it up to me, saying that, oh, he's spoken about you. Can you let us know what you think? So I told people what I thought of him, and I just said I don't really like his content very much because I feel like he's more interested in making ad hominem attacks than really focusing on what the problems are with the game.
Right.
And he saw that, and he reached out to me in the comments section, which he's deleted now. He's very famous for deleting things. That's why if you talk to Fate and you have a falling out with him, I'd advise you to always make sure you have receipts because he deletes everything. Well, which I'll get to in a little bit because he's recently deleted some other stuff.
Right.
So he reached out to me. We spoke in Discord. It was all fine. He was polite. We jumped on the live stream. I'd said to him that I've got questions for him because I said that I don't appreciate his content. And I was going to tell him why. He didn't like the line of questioning. He removed the live stream from his channel, I guess, because he might have felt silly. But by the end of the live stream, we were cool. Like it was like I didn't agree with most of what he said. I felt like he was very dismissive, and I felt like he had a hard time following the conversation.
Yeah.
But I said, it's fine, no problem, whatever. So we were all good up until that point. And then Sikander wanted Fate on his stream. Now, me and Sikander have a mutual friend, one of my mods, and maybe Sikander's, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Her name's Alexis. And she reached out to me and she said, hey, do you want to jump on this live stream? And I was sleeping. I don't know if Sikander requested me to jump on or not. I can't remember too far back, but I know Alexis is the one that reached out to me.
Right.
So I said, I'll jump on when I wake up. And then I woke up a couple hours later and I checked and they were still going. So I jumped in, and in this live stream, when I got there, they were going at each other. Like they were proper going at each other.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, like Fate's not my friend. And at that point, me and Sikander weren't, I wouldn't say we were friends yet. We were just cool with each other.
Right.
So they're cussing each other. So I'm just sitting there laughing at both of them. Like I'm chiming in every now and then. I'm kind of giggling at both of their insults.
Yeah.
I giggled at Fate's. I giggled at Sikander's, but Fate took real offense when I laughed at what Sikander said. And people went back to watch the live streams. I said, go and verify for yourself. I was laughing at both of them. I wasn't laughing at them maliciously. I was laughing at the jabs they were making at each other.
Right.
So after that live stream finished, Fate put up something and people were like really, really annoyed with him. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Like, he's not my friend, but we ended on decent terms. Let me reach out to him and find out what the issue is before. Let me not make a video and turn it into a whole thing. I'll ask him, which I've still got the messages of. And he sends me this long message about how I'm a snake. And I was laughing at Sikander making mean comments at him. And I said to him, oh, I'm not your daddy. Like, defend yourself. We're not friends. I can laugh at people making jokes at you. He turned it into this whole, oh, it's okay for Sikander to make ad hominem attacks, but not me. And I said to him that the reason that I pointed out that you made an attack on the twins, or ad hominem attack, is that you made a joke about them, or you turned their name into a joke based on things you don't even understand, which we covered in the live stream. But he stayed on this point, and he makes out like this point is something that I went crazy over. Where when you look at any evidence, the way I'm talking now is how I spoke to him. So that's where it really all started, like the descent of our whatever it is that I've got going on.
I actually pulled up, I think it was your first live stream with him the other night while I was going to sleep, and I was like, okay, I need to learn some things. And man, I hate to say it, but it was kind of like eerily similar to me talking to him. Like he was super respectful. He, didn't get combative with me. Felt like he was pretty reasonable and even like walked back on some of the things that he'd done. And funnily enough, I'm not trying to start drama mid live stream when it comes to Fate with Fate, but like we talked about MKX pretty heavily, and how it's my favorite game. You asked me my two favorite games, fighting games. It's Third Strike and MKX. They're great. But now all of a sudden, like he's got these videos coming out like trashing MKX, saying that people can't take jokes, which was what me and him talked about. I don't know if he's trying to get on my backside, but I just felt like it was eerily similar to what I'd seen between you two.
Fate is a master rage baiter. Like
Yeah.
he's a master at it. He's really good at it. And like for example, I watched your interview of him because I was like, let me see what he says. Let me see what Tooten's saying.
Right.
And then I went and watched some of the videos that followed that. And there was a video that you guys were talking about frame data, right?
Yeah.
And I found that video to be so dumb and pointless that it could only be described as rage bait, because frame data being in the game, being in the old Mortal Kombat games, doesn't change the experience for Fate. He
No.
just wants to talk about the frame data because he knows that pro players look at that and he's always going at them. So what he's doing is he's talking about something that is completely irrelevant because it doesn't change the experience for him, just to bait a pro player into calling him stupid so that he can make more content about it. Everything Fate does is rage baiting. He starts talking about, funnily enough, he brings up Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Just after I've done a stream playing Mortal Kombat 11 with the community. And
Yeah.
I watched it because I was like, I'm going on Tooten's stream. Let me see what he's been saying recently, because it's very hard. Luckily, I've got a couple people that clip things for me. It's very difficult for me to sit through his content. But I watched that and I was like, why can't you just take Tooten's advice and play Fightcade and leave people alone? Instead, what he does is he keeps on indirecting people, and then when people come from him, he's like, oh, they victimized me.
Yeah.
They said stuff about it. It's just like, and then like there's a guy in your chat called George Alvarez. This guy is like Fate 2.0. He
Oh boy,
anything that you
yeah.
say about Fate, he just gets upset about it. And it's like, of course an anime avatar is gonna sit there talking shit.
Yeah, I personally like I've watched a few. I have to be completely honest, and again, not trying to start drama mid stream with Fate or anything, but like I would watch some of his videos. Like after our chat, I turned on his Brusque video, and I, outside of his extreme political ideas that he talked about, when it came to Brusque, I thought it was a decent video. I thought the frame data, once he moved past talking about something that you can clearly tell he knows nothing about, and started talking about the experiences he had and Fightcade, I thought it was a good video. It rage baited me 100%. But I don't know if you've seen the video that he put out last night with his boys. It was probably one of the most hateful videos I've seen in the fighting game community.
No, I haven't actually seen that. His videos all kind of mesh into one, because his content doesn't really change. It's always, they victimized me. Oh, you guys are not true Mortal Kombat fans. Oh, I said this first. It's the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
So I saw Alexis in your stream said a video I sent you. Okay, so
Yeah.
the video that Alexis sent me, right? I tried my best to get through it, but I watched what she sent me. Basically, Fate's a liar. It's come to my attention, thanks to people that watched it, that he has actually been supporting Mortal Kombat 1, whereas he's been saying he's not going to buy anything to support the game because it's a bad game. He trashes Mortal Kombat 1 as much as anybody else, right?
Yeah.
And he's bought these skins. Now, to farm these skins to get them, according to the people that play Mortal Kombat 1, takes a very, very long time. So one or two things has happened here. Fate actively plays Mortal Kombat 1 and farms Dragon Crystals, which means that it doesn't really make sense to be criticizing a game you spend so much time playing. Yeah. Or he's purchased the skins, which means that he is lying about his stance on Mortal Kombat 1 to drive engagement. So everything that comes out of Fate's mouth, even when I saw him talking to you, I was like, he's speaking to you very respectfully, because he's had so many people against him that he can't possibly afford to have more YouTubers coming after him. So he spoke to you respectfully, but Fate's a bullshit. It only takes like 2 seconds to click through his content and then cross-reference it if people are calling him out to see that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I have a hard time disagreeing. when it comes to that, because even though he was respectful with me, like I said, his recent videos talking about MKX. I mean, we talked about MKX before the stream. You know, we talked for about 15, 20 minutes before we started. And I mean, he was saying it was great. He was saying he loves MKX. It's a really good game. And now, like, his video from yesterday is he said something like MKX is just dog shit, like a pile of crap. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, what? You know, like.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. He told you that MKX is a good game.
He said it was a great game.
That's hilarious, because every single time he brings up MKX, he trashes it. Which, so I believe you. I'm not surprised. I spoke to Fate in private for 3 hours, and in good faith, I didn't record the conversation. But bro, he lied the entire time, and afterwards, I sat there and I was like, I'm not even sure if I should speak to this guy. I'm not sure if he's lying or if he's actually just stupid or if he's like super forgetful. But I'm glad you brought that to our attention, because if you go through Fate's catalog of videos, he has trashed Mortal Kombat continuously, and he always says the digital Mortal Kombat games are the ones that you need to go back to. And the thing is, with his digital Mortal Kombat take, doesn't bother me because it's an era in Mortal Kombat that people loved. So if they did go back there, maybe I won't like it, but it's fine. But every time someone brings up MKX, he's just like, no, it's garbage, blah, blah, blah.
Bro,
now you're telling me he said it's a great game.
He said it was a great game before I think he even said it in the stream. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. I think he said it was a good game during the stream, but like he definitely said it was a great game off stream, which like, damn. It's definitely, I think me and you like can both see, especially when like Mortal Kombat is kind of dead, which it is one of the fighting games that ends up dead more than any other one that is current. It's very easy to grow off of negative content and rage baiting, clickbaiting, and I feel like Fake's just falling in that hole of like he sees the numbers go up whenever he makes a super negative, derogatory video, and I think it's addicting. You know?
Yeah, if you look at his content where he doesn't do it, because every now and then he'll stop doing it and he'll make like just a talking about a tutorial, whatever. Almost nobody watches. They struggle to break what 500 views.
Yeah, his
But
5K
then you go
video.
and look at his 5K videos, which you said to him, why don't you focus on that? It's obvious why he won't focus on that. Fate has said multiple times he can't work and that he has to stay indoors.
Yeah.
And so this is how he contributes to his household. Fair enough, but don't pretend like you're not rage baiting. Everything he does is rage bait. Even the other day, he started talking about Tom Brady randomly, and he didn't want to put my name in it, even though my tweet's in it. So I was like, the thing that I put on Twitter, you know, I like cropped that, I clipped that part where he's talking about me, and I was just like, again, he's talking about me and Tom. Tom's a really, really nice guy.
I've always liked Tom, dude.
He's so nice, and I can tell you right now, if Tom doesn't like Fate at all, but he won't trash him because he feels sorry for him, which I understand, because kind of like looking at Fate, I can understand why you'd feel sorry for him, but he's always bringing up Tom's name, and I'm just like, dude, like if you just stop talking about me and Tom, there wouldn't be anything to react to. But he won't stop. He wants to be that center of attention. He wants to be like the boogeyman, when really, outside of my beef with him as of late, respectfully, like he's not on anybody's radar. He's just a angry old man shouting in his wife's basement.
I definitely like, I get the vibe from him. He's watched a lot of Low Tier God, or what's that other guy's name? Phil something.
Dark Side Phil.
Yeah, Dark Side Phil. Like he's trying to be that in the Mortal Kombat community. But in that video that you clipped on Twitter, he basically, when it came to Tom Brady, called you a user and a snake, bro. Saying that you're using Tom Brady for his opinions and potential guest acquisition. Man, that's highly disrespectful in my opinion.
I know me and Tom speak in private all the time. I speak to Tom almost every day now. We just laugh at Fate. Like there's nothing that Fate is gonna post that Tom's gonna be like, hey Mike, Fate made this really good point today. Do you want to elaborate on that? I know what he's trying to do. And Tom, you know, if you ever spoke to him, he could attest to this. Me and Tom, like, we started off as just like, I guess, doing content together, so you could say we were acquaintances.
Yeah.
But we continued talking, which is something that Fate doesn't really understand. That maybe when you meet somebody, you're just doing content together and you're like a peer or a colleague.
Yeah.
And then over time you become friends because you keep on talking. But this is like a strange concept to Fate, I guess, because he doesn't have a lot of friends. And so in time, me and Tom have become friends, and I know what Tom does for a living. I know how he's helped the MK scene. I know about a lot of his history now, and Tom doesn't really speak bad about people. Even Tweedy made like an offhand comment about me and Tom today, which I'm going to address later on. And Tom was so respectful about it. I'm not as respectful about these things as Tom. So he's not going to bother Fate. Fate can, can post up all this shit as much as he wants.
Right.
Tom sees right through him, so it is what it is.
Do you feel like you could ever get to the point where you could put like shit behind and like actually sit down and like have a cool, reasonable chat with Fate again?
No.
No, you don't
That
think
bridge is
so?
burnt. No, because the last time we tried to do that, obviously it turned into a pissing contest. And then this most recent live stream, did he tell you why that live stream came to be?
He didn't. I was actually there for most of it, but he never told me how it came to be.
The reason that live stream came up is because me and Tom did a live stream, and we were talking to the community, and the community were asking Tom questions.
Yeah.
And they asked about Fate. I ignored it because I said, I'm not bringing up Fate again. Like it's done and dusted. And they kept on talking about it, and then someone donated, and I was like, I can't ignore a super chat. So I read it to Tom, and I said, I'm not going to talk about it because Fate's not here to defend himself, and I feel like we've taken enough jabs at each other, whatever.
Yeah.
And Tom respectfully just said, Fate makes good points, whatever. That is trying to not, it was trying to not punch down, basically.
Yeah.
So that was all that was said. There was nothing negative towards Fate. Tom didn't say anything negative. I didn't say anything. I refused to comment on him. He took that and he started taking jabs at me. So I went into his live stream. I was like, what's your problem? I was laughing at him in the live stream. I was like, what is your problem? No one said anything here. So I said to him, okay, you got something to say. Jump on the live stream. We'll talk about it. He jumped on my live stream and he said to me, name a lie. And off the bat, I named a lie. I said to him, you keep on telling people I'm trying to destroy your channel. I never said that. And he kept on repeating over and over again. I'm sure you saw, name a lie. And I was just sitting there like, is he deaf? I just told you one. So that's how it came to be.
I mentioned to him in our chat, like it was kind of hard to watch his side of it because like every time you would make a point or try to make a point to him, it would be prove it. It was just like that's all you heard.
Yeah, his mic kept on cutting my one out as well. I don't know why that was happening, but I couldn't get a word in because of that.
I was posting in chat like I'm like, somebody please tell Mike to turn his volume up because Fate was blowing my speakers out and I could barely hear you.
I don't know why, because I had ours on the same, but it kept on prioritizing Fate's one. I'm not entirely sure what happened because it's never happened before, but because of that, we couldn't have a real conversation because he wasn't listening. And yeah, then he decided to try and get a little bit personal. So I was like, okay, if you want to get personal, then we'll get personal since he's aired out all of his dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's impossible to talk to. I'm convinced that I was telling my community I don't think I should speak to him anymore because I think there might be something, there might be like a disconnect. He keeps on talking about people's brain cells, but I'm not sure he actually has any. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Yeah, he was pretty reasonable with me. He kind of walked back on that whole Allah statement, which was surprising. Somebody in my chat said that was the first time he'd taken any type of accountability for it, which kind of surprised me. Another person that I just talked to was Total MK, though. I've noticed you guys haven't interacted much, but I think anyone who's paying attention knows that they're tight. Total, he's an OG regardless of how anybody feels about him. He's an OG in the community, but he's definitely going down like the same path as Fate from what I've seen. Maybe not to the same extent, but he's still there with him. Have you guys ever had any interaction besides him being like in your stream making poo poo pee pee jokes?
Yeah, I tried to ignore Total MK because he makes me sick to look at. I'll be honest with you. Like every time I see him talking, I just want to like just turn away. So every time I see him typing, I'm just like, I'm not listening to this guy. There was one interaction because he got blown up on Twitter for some comments he made that people didn't like, and I made a video about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it, and I just said to him, deal with it. It is what it is. You made stupid comments. I don't like you. And that was it really. He tries to get my attention every now and then when I'm talking to Fate.
Yeah.
Total MK, he brings me up all the time. I'll get sent pictures of him and Fate, or him in Fate stream chats just constantly yapping away. Total MK to me, yeah, he's been in the scene for a long time, but I've got no respect for him whatsoever, and he knows that. And I don't even feel like addressing him, to be honest with you. Like, there's no intelligent conversation to be gained with Total MK at all, like whatsoever. I think he might be lower on that tier list than Fate in my
Damn.
regard.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Damn. When it comes to Fate, man, I don't know. I really think the guy doesn't always have like terrible opinions, but like he definitely has been like dipping his toes for a very long time into like the professional competitive side of things, and it seems like he doesn't know much of what he's talking about. And you've went back and forth with him a few times on that. Like, so where do you kind of stand on like his opinion on like casuals should have like a say in how fighting games are balanced or designed?
I am against that, and and Fate's points are very contradictory because Mortal Kombat 1 has definitely gone down a more casual road.
Agreed. Yeah.
Um, I don't think that you should listen to casuals in terms of balancing the game. I think you should listen to their requests in terms of character involvement, in terms of single player modes, things fluff to make the game fun. But when
Yeah.
you're talking about making a robust and nuanced fighting game that's going to stand the test of time and people are going to come back to you, you need to talk to, like, don't want to say the experts, but the people that are more involved in like the competitive side, or people that are more, you don't even have to be a competitive player, but you can be someone that plays on YouTube or plays casually, but you understand the game.
Yeah.
Fate, I have no doubt Fate likes the Mortal Kombat lore and he likes Mortal Kombat the franchise. But the games, like the fighting, I, why would I go to Fate to help me balance a Mortal Kombat game? He doesn't know heads from tails, and his points are extremely contradictory. Mortal Kombat 1 was clearly dumbed down, and MK11 was also dumbed down. MK9
Yeah.
and MKX are much more difficult games. And he's saying that if they're made with the only pros in mind, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So yeah, no, I sometimes he makes points, and I'm like, yeah, I get where he's coming from there. But more often than not, I think he's either repeating something from someone else and he doesn't know how to word it properly,
Yeah.
or he's just talking out of his ass.
Yeah, I think anybody who has any type of general experience with fighting games, especially for any extended period of time, like can easily see that Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 11 were dumbed down. Mortal Kombat 11 more than one. Mortal Kombat 11 is probably the
Wait,
worst
sorry,
fighting game ever. Oh, I think your cam froze. Let's see if I can fix that. Can you hear me? Oh no, I think my internet died. Fuck. Hey chat, you still there? Yo. Oh, I think we disconnected. Hold on. Mike, I'm gonna try to end the Discord call and call you back, bro. Or jump back in.
Hello?
There we go. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I
Cool.
have no
I
idea
don't know
what just
what
happened.
Yeah, you sound like you're on Cybertron for a second.
Yeah, I heard you. It was the same thing. I was like, what the fuck? But no, yeah. MK11 is probably like the worst fighting game of all time for me. Like, no shit. And I saw like people at that time saying like, oh, it's a difficult fighting game and everything else. And then you move to MK1, and like, yeah, it's a little bit more complicated because of the cameo system, but it's still I could put my 5-year-old son on it and he could figure this shit out pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why his points don't make any sense. He's always talking about only pros this, only pros that, but as we can see, the player base in the pro side of it is basically non-existent,
Yeah.
and the casual side, because Ed Boon posted up the top 15 PlayStation games week to week. Now, I actually did some digging into that, and although it's true, it's not the numbers people think it is. But regardless, the casuals are clearly the ones keeping the game alive.
Yeah.
So again, he's just screaming into the ether, like he's screaming into the abyss. He has no idea what he's on about, and again, he just wants to rage bait. All of
Yeah.
his content starts off like you said. You were baited in by the frame data conversation, and then he got into it. But his ideas don't make any sense because he doesn't really know what rage baiting is. When he said Allah is Satan, he was like, yeah, but then if you go and watch my video, you would understand. And I'm like, that's what rage bait is. You baited people into
Yeah,
going watching your video. That is
yeah.
exactly what it is. And he repeats it like it's a gotcha. I'm just like, why am I talking to this guy? He's too stupid.
The thing that really got me is he kept bringing up the fact that you're a Christian and like
Yeah.
I guess you're like supporting whatever. I really didn't. I tried to follow his point, but I couldn't. So
Yeah,
like I
no,
couldn't really
he's
get it.
mentioned this before. I'm Greek Orthodox,
Yeah,
and I said to him I'm not a fan of making fun of other people's religions. That's
yeah,
really it. Like as a Christian, although I'm not deeply religious, I'm of the belief that live and let live. Unless
yeah.
people are hurting people, and then that's on an individual basis. I'm not gonna bother Muslims, and I have loads of Muslim friends. I'm very close to some Muslim people. They're good. There's bad in every religion, but
Absolutely.
fate wants to pick and choose and again bait people into those arguments. No matter what he says, saying Allah is Satan on uh, Twitter, whether you believe it or not, and then saying, "Oh, I said that," and then I expanded on it. That's rage bait. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how else to explain it.
No, that's absolutely true. And like you mentioned, he got me with that video. The thing that bothers me, like if you're gonna rage bait me, like at least stay on topic. Like he rage
Yeah,
baited me in with that video, talked about frame data for like 2 minutes, and then moved on to something entirely different for the next 16 minutes. And it's like
yep,
you need to at least stay on topic. Um, but no, yeah, I agree with you when it comes to the whole live and let live thing. I feel like I'm a Christian, and I was taught you don't go around like insulting, disrespecting, making derogatory comments about people. So, uh, yeah, I don't know,
yeah.
man.
Him and Toto MK keep on saying that I'm sending people over
I've
to
seen
fight
that.
with
Yeah,
them. And I'm just like, the other day I entered a space with like very, very like right wing people in the FGC, and I had some pushback for them. There were 300 people in there, and I was the only person in there arguing against them. And not because I have anything against right wing people, it's just these particular talking points I didn't really like.
yeah,
So I went in there on my own. So I was saying to like my boys, I was like, why would I send people when I can do it myself? Like I don't need to send people to make Fate look stupid or Total MK. People don't like Fate and Total MK, so they go over there of their own volition and let him know. But they keep on telling people, or Fate keeps on telling people, I'm trying to destroy his channel. That's his first slide. Total MK keeps on saying Mike sent his minions over, and then he will say stuff like, "Oh, I never said that," and people have literally had been sent screenshots of it before. So they're both liars, which is really weird because Fate keeps on saying, "Oh, it's wrong to lie. I'm a Christian," and he keeps on lying.
I actually saw in your live stream the last one with Fate 2 weeks ago. Like Total MK
Yeah.
was actually in the chat room, like saying that you
Oh, okay.
sent people over.
Yeah,
Like
of
he,
course he is.
yeah,
He's. I don't send, bro. I promise you, you can go through my Discord history.
right,
I've never told people go and get that person. As a matter of fact, if people have sent stuff over to me, I've said leave them alone. I'll deal with them.
yeah.
I've never once asked a single person to go and do my dirty work for me.
I'm of the same opinion. Like if I'm gonna go after somebody, I'm gonna go after somebody. I don't need no fucking backup, you know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
to kind of like touch on Tom, like you and Tom, I think you're synonymous with each other at this point. At least since I've come back, when I see Tom Brady, I see Mike Hollow. When I see Mike Hollow, I see Tom Brady. Right?
Hmm.
How did that like acquaintanceship, friendship, kind of like get built? Like what? How did y'all meet? Right?
So I was doing a couple of videos on my own, like just talking about Mortal Kombat. I had a couple that went viral,
Yeah.
and after about maybe I'd say like maybe I've made like 8 videos, and they had all generated like quite high viewership. Tom reached out to me on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, I really like your content. Do you want to talk sometime?" And I said to him, "Yeah, like let's have a chat or whatever." And I've always known of Tom Brady, obviously.
Yeah.
I said to him, we can do live streams together and see how they go. People really like them. So I said, well, I mean, we're talking in private. Let's just do this on live stream because people seem to like it. And that's really where it went. Initially, it was just more of like we're doing content together because there's a space in the Mortal Kombat scene for this to happen.
Right.
And then eventually it turned into like, oh, he's actually my friend. I'll just message him, but hey, do you want to jump on stream or whatever? So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I've always, like I said, I've always liked what Tom's had to say. He's definitely been like, I don't know if I'd call him an outcast, because I don't feel like he's an outcast. A lot of people know him, a lot of people like him, but at the same time, he's had more of the controversial opinions in the community. You know, shitting on the
Yeah.
games that everybody seems to like or whatever. But I've always had like a lot of respect for him for being that person.
Yeah, I really didn't like the way people were talking about him for a long time, but I didn't know him. So like I was like, it's not really my place to jump in. I was only just getting back into YouTube as well because I kind of stepped away for a long time because I had loads and loads of like different work to do like outside of YouTube.
Yeah,
And then I came back to it and I didn't like the way he was treated. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some content with him. I spoke to him in private because I said to him, obviously I've heard about all of the rumors. Can we talk about this in private or whatever? And we did. And he showed me a bunch of stuff that he's never shown other people in the FGC, maybe like a couple of people here and there, but he won't publicize it.
yeah,
So people were saying to me at the time, "Why are you doing content with Tom Mike? Stop doing it." And I've seen people saying about Tom, "Why are you doing content with that Mike guy?" People say that as much as they want, but at the end of the day, me and Tom are friends. Same with me and King J. There's people in the Tekken scene that have said it to me as well. Um, if I'm friends with someone, then my loyalty is to them.
yeah.
It's not to some random anime avatar that contributes nothing.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I do remember all of that controversy around Tom, and I've had conversations in private with another, creator in the space who had actually seen the proof and told me yeah, he didn't do this, you know,
Yeah,
like he genuinely didn't. I was like, yeah, I never really believed he did that. It just always felt like the community that didn't like him kind of used it as a gotcha to try to like move him out and further ruin his credit any way they could. But no, Tom's always just seemed like a really genuine fucking guy.
yeah, and they always make out like he's doing videos to make money. Tom is a very, very successful guy outside of YouTube.
Yeah,
He doesn't. That's why he comes to my YouTube videos to do because he likes interacting with my community, and he likes like the way the discussions are set up. But people that are saying that he needs the money for Mortal Kombat, and that's why he's hating on it, which is another word that people don't seem to understand either, is nonsense. Tom makes six figures, so don't know where they're getting that from.
right. I think a lot of people just feel like it's one drastic or the other, right? You got the people who like if they're positive about the games, they're shills. They're negative about the game, they're hating for money. I feel like there's no
Yeah.
fucking middle ground in any type of way for the Mortal Kombat community.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's strange because I'm involved in the Tekken scene as well,
yeah,
and when you criticize their game, they're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Tekken did this wrong or whatever. Same with Soul Calibur, but you say something about Mortal Kombat, they just
oh yeah.
they go mad.
It's they come in fucking droves. It's kind of the
Yeah.
same with I don't know if you've heard of Dead by Daylight, but
Mm.
Jesus Christ, that game, dude. You say one bad thing about that, you will get swamped. It's
I've dealt
crazy.
with My Hero Academia fans. I'm not a fan of that anime at all,
Yeah.
and they let me know immediately. You better stop talking, Mike. And my friend was like, "Don't even bother with them, bro. You'll never beat them." So I just left it.
I feel like it that kind of like wraps back around to like Fate and Total MK. Like it seems like a
Mm.
lot of people in this community, especially like the old heads, whatever you want to call them, people who have been here since like MK1, 2, 3, and even some people with Deception, they've kind of made it their whole personality. And they like
Yeah.
when you insult, disrespect, or don't acknowledge what they view as the best thing, like they really take it as like a personal fucking attack.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange how personal people get about it. Like I've told people like on stream before, like Sparking Zero is one of my favorite new fighting games, and a lot of people hate that game,
Yeah,
and it hasn't got the highest player base, but you ain't seen a single video on my channel insulting people that don't like it, or even talking about people that don't like it. I don't hate watch. I
right.
don't watch people that I don't like, and so I always find it bizarre when people are watching something that makes them upset. So I've told Mortal Kombat players before, the videos that I make are to talk about the issues of the game. But if you're having a good time, then good for you. You don't waste your money. But the video's not for you, so why are you hate watching? I mean,
Right.
they can if they want. It's up to them. It's a waste of their time. But like, there's YouTubers that I don't like Fresh and Fit or Ethan Klein or Hassan Arby.
Yeah.
Don't tend to like their content very much, so I don't watch it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess hate watching is they talk about, oh, you're always being negative, and I'm like, oh, you're always showing up for negative content. So what does that say about you?
Right. What like when I dipped out, I I I know you were making content, but at least from the timestamps on your videos, but I'd never personally heard of you. And then you just all of a sudden like mainstream. When I came back, dude, last month, all I hear about people in my streams being like, "Hey, yo, have you seen Mike Hollow? You know, have you watched this Mike Hollow video?" I'm like, "No, I haven't. Who the fuck is this guy?" You know, like,
Yeah.
and I've really enjoyed like your opinions on. I mean, I guess it's because we mostly agree. I've really enjoyed your opinions on the different fighting games you talked about. What drove you to like come back and start making these opinion piece videos on these fighting games?
I mean, well, firstly, I knew who you were as well. I saw some. I think your Hellraiser video. Did you do it?
Really?
You did a Hellraiser video, right?
Yeah, I did for Dead by Daylight. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I think I saw your Dead by Daylight stuff a long time ago. So yeah, I knew who he was as well. But in terms of me, I remember it was because of Mortal Kombat 1. I bought the game. I was very disappointed with how MK11 went.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump into Mortal Kombat 1. This is a fresh slate, be positive, Mike, don't carry over any of that baggage. And I really tried that for the first week. And for the first week, I was like, okay, this might be a step in the right direction. As I started to learn about the game more, I was like, this is dog shit. I need to talk about this. And when I
Right.
came back to my channel, obviously, I had like 2,000 subscribers. There was no activity whatsoever. And I just thought, I'm just going to air my thoughts on the topic.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the morning and it was like, had like 13,000 views. So I was like, oh, okay. But they were mostly negative, like, because the game was so new.
Yeah.
My rant happened in October and the game came out in like September, I think.
Yeah.
Um, So it was so new. People like, oh, the game's only been out a month, man. Why are you chatting shit? Who is this guy? Blah blah blah. So I thought it would be fun to take people's comments and put them up and respond to them. And then that one got like 20,000 views. So I was like, oh, okay, this is strange. Like I'm not used to this.
Right.
I didn't know what else to talk about though, because I was like, I've kind of run out of things to talk about here. So then Tekken 8 sort of like started popping up. And I went to Comic Con and I filmed my experience there, and people watched it. And it got like another 10,000 views. So I was like, okay, well, people are showing up to my channel. Let me just see where this goes. So I kind of like made a decision to not do gameplay stuff again because this is so saturated.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
so
does
hard,
gameplay.
dude.
Yeah, like how are you gonna make a dent in anything when you've got these pro players, you've got these established personalities that are playing the games like Rad Brad, for example.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna talk, and just see where it goes. People have been watching, and it just sort of snowballed from there. So it's weird because it was what I was doing with my friends. We'll talk about fighting games
Yeah.
and then go about our business. And I was like, I'll just turn on my camera and do it. So yeah, that's kind of what happened.
I definitely understand that. Mortal Kombat 1, I talked about it in a video not that long ago. That shit fooled me, bro. Because I got the game, I was hype. The beta was okay, so I bought the premium edition. And I got on Kenshi. And Kenshi is
Mm.
playing a different fucking fighting game. Or at least he was. You know, he was more
Yeah.
like Guilty Gear anime. And I was like, okay, this shit is dope. As soon as I switched off of Kenshi, I'm like, oh, wait, it's actually dog shit. Yeah, and that kind of like that actually pushed me away from content creation because I'm like, oh man, another fucking Mortal Kombat game that's, you know, dumbed down, casual, not fun to play for an extended period of time. I'm not going through this shit again. So it kind of had like the reverse effect on me. Like I dipped out. I'm like, fuck this, I'm gone.
Yeah, it didn't put me off because I enjoyed the engagement from people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I try to center my channel around, like having conversations about fighting games rather than playing them. And then I kind of leave the playing to the live streams where we're playing with the community.
Yeah.
Um, but I remember I got put off of Mortal Kombat because before Baraka and Striker became popular, that was my first team.
Yeah.
And if you go and look at week one of my uploads of Mortal Kombat 1, it's Baraka and Striker. So I don't want to say I discovered the team, but I didn't see anyone else playing them at the time. Everybody was using Cyrax.
Yeah.
And then I put up a video saying I played this team and it is so stupid. And then as soon as I dropped them, somebody went on to win a tournament. I can't remember which pro player it was. And then I made a video saying, "Oh, see, I told you so." Blah blah. It was kind of a smug video,
Yeah.
and yeah, it kind of went from there. And I kind of made the decision to not tie myself to playing games. Just I'm a gamer. We talk about it with my friends all the time. Might as well just do that on camera.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. That's it's kind of where I've like moved to. Like I make all my videos on stream because it's like I feel like that is when I'm interacting with my community, that's when I'm the most genuine, you know. So like I'll have an idea and
Yeah,
like let's do it fucking live. Um
yeah.
but actually on the topic of Mortal Kombat 1, because I personally feel like they just did something that's kind of like a return to form with the secret fighter, Floyd, and all that. I don't know if you've seen much about it since yesterday, but like how are you feeling about it if you have seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I think the Pink Floyd thing is really cool.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's come so late, but props where props are due. Like I think that's a really cool inclusion. Kind of goes back to MK1 of MK of old, where there was secret characters and like, oh, who's that? And then you get a special stage when you beat the character as well.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is really cool. Like if there were updates like this more often during the game's main lifespan, then it might have been salvageable in some way. Maybe because like the game's winding down, they're kind of giving them free reign to go crazy. It would be even cooler if you could just play Pink Floyd maybe offline. Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks too powerful to take online, but yeah, I think the update was good. Conan is a boring pick, but he hasn't been designed badly. Like for what they've done with him, it kind of makes sense how they've designed him. It's just not the character I would have chosen for a fighting game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm kind of right there with you. The Pink Floyd thing. I'm a musician, or I mean, I wanted to be at least. I play guitar and drums and shit. So Pink Floyd's one of my favorite bands. That's a really cool inclusion. But I agree with you. It's kind of like it's really too little, too fucking late. Even though it's a super cool addition. I actually
But it makes me hopeful for the future though,
yeah
because I saw it and I was like, okay, they get it, like they still understand what people find cool about Mortal Kombat, and the reception to it was very positive.
yeah
So I'm like, okay, well maybe it's winding down, and it's not been great for Mortal Kombat fans, but there's still hope there that something special could come up next. That's my main takeaway from it.
yeah. I really like I said in my video for it, it's a return to form. Like this is what Mortal Kombat was known for back in the day, outside of the blood and gore. You know,
Yeah,
Reptile was the first ever secret fighter, I think. Like he beat Akuma. So yeah,
yeah,
like they still understand. Conan though, I played him a little bit. It's funny, you know. Every time he gets hit, you hear, "Ah!" You know, it's fucking
yeah.
hilarious. But I haven't gotten to mess around with him too much. But he does look. I watched Max last night. He looks boring, but kind of fun.
Yeah. I watched Max, which is something I'm adding into my video later on. Max looked like his soul had left his body,
Dude.
and he was like, they make cool characters, but then you have to play the game, and you're like, this isn't a good game.
Bro, I was like, I literally looked at my wife last night because my wife loves watching Max with me. And I'm like, this guy, like, Max looks like he is in the worst fucking mood ever because he's playing MK1. I'm like, dude, he must have got kicked in the fucking head before this stream or something. He is pissed.
Yeah, it was a shame because I was watching it, and I said in the video that I'm putting up later today that Max is like the most, and he's not toxic positive. I think Max has a lot of good takes, and I
Yeah,
genuinely believe that he loves fighting games, and he not that he focuses on the positive, but he's just got so much love and deep appreciation that he has a good time regardless.
yeah.
And that was one of the first times where I was like, Max looks like me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at myself right. That's how I look when I play Mortal Kombat 1. I was chatting to one of my friends on Discord about it, and I was like, I don't like seeing Max like that, man.
It's like watching a family member cry or something. He wasn't crying, but god damn, he was upset. And
Yeah,
you know that wraps me back around because I did that stream with Total MK. We were talking, man, and he just god damn, when it comes to Max, when it comes with Fate and Total MK, they just think he is like the fakest, biggest shill. Like even though he worked on Killer Instinct 2013, they're like, oh, he got paid to say good things about it. I'm sitting there like, that game was a good game and he worked on it. Like, what the fuck?
yeah. I wouldn't turn to Total MK and Fate for coherent takes on people. To be honest with you, they're gonna call anybody that is successful a shill and whatever. Max Max got his start playing fighting games.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you get that, big companies notice, and Max has a very, very like warm, like sort of energy about his channel. Like you go there and you have a good time.
Yeah.
And I get like why people wouldn't like my stuff, for example, because my content is all about criticizing fighting games or like looking at where they might have gone wrong, because that's something that I like doing.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking for content to like sit and enjoy and have a really good time, you go to Max.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So them calling him a shill, it's just, you know, once again, fate is like, oh, I'm the truth teller. Come to me for the truth. You know, you're not gonna get anywhere else. All these shills. And Total MK is like his shadow now. So whatever fate says, Total MK will say it as well.
Yeah, and I think my wife said it best. My wife is the reasonable one. You know, she's the critical thinker. So me and her were sitting there talking about it, and she's like, Max is just a positive fucking guy. And if that positivity, if that good outward look on things gets him more opportunities, then what the fuck ever. You know?
Yeah. I just want to highlight there's a guy in your chat called George Alvarez. I don't know if you can see him right now.
Yeah.
He's just said, yeah, the guy who supported mandatory experimental jabs is definitely not a shill. What does his medical wherewithal or like his understanding of medicine or how it's distributed got to do with fighting games?
Yeah.
I like this is the common fate fan. This is the low IQ talking points to come out with, because Max might have gotten the jab or might not have. That somehow correlates for his love for fighting games and how he portrays them on camera. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
This guy is basically fake. Like their IQ is probably mirrored. What a stupid thing to say.
George, I try to keep it as positive as I can on my channel and shit like that, but that was genuinely fucking stupid, dude. I
see
don't.
this guy's name everywhere, and I'm just like, dude, like, please get a life. Like, he makes me laugh, but really, like, you gotta imagine the guy sitting behind his computer right now saying something dumb like that.
Like, yeah, and he's like, he typed that, he pressed enter, and he sat back and was like, that was a fucking good one. Yeah, yeah. I just, that is like one of the most brain rotting things, frustrating things that I've seen since I've came back. When I was doing Dead by Daylight videos, it was kind of like when Joe Biden had just got there, like a year or so after. Everything wasn't horrible yet, but like, Jesus Christ, I came back and everything is so fucking political. If like that guy said, Max supported getting the jab shot, whatever, so, oh my God, he's a terrible person. It's like, brother, we are here to fucking talk about and have fun and hype up fighting games, bro. Like, what the fuck does anyone's political ideologies have to do with grown fucking men playing fighting games? You know?
It's because a lot of these people, you know, they'll call others grifters and haters, but then they won't talk about the fighting game. They will attack the content creator personally because they don't like their opinions, or they'll talk about random political stuff that have nothing to do with fighting games whatsoever.
Yeah.
What Max does with his body, I have no interest in whatsoever. My interest in Max is his fighting game content.
Yeah.
And the fact that people would try to draw a line, it's really bizarre, and it's typical like tribalism. You know, like even the other day I was watching the inauguration, and you know, Trump won. He's the president. You know, it is what it is. And I saw Elon come on stage and do the salute, and I was like,
yeah.
I'm not saying that Elon's a Nazi or anything like that, but you gotta be stupid to do something like that on TV. And then I went online afterwards, and Andrew Tate saying, yeah, maybe we should bring that back. And then you got people on Twitter like saying, oh, we're so back. And I'm like,
brother.
And then there's people that are like Trump supporters, which is, again, I have got no issue with Trump supporters. But if you're defending what Elon did and like giving him a pass, you're just being tribal. What he did was stupid.
Yeah. Now, I have no problem with like openly saying like I voted for Trump. Like, absolutely. But that cult mentality that like there's no middle ground. It's either you're extreme one way or another. And I'm fucking not. Yeah. Right? I think Trump's a fucking moron, but I think he is economically the best in slot for the country right now. But Elon Musk is a fucking idiot. Trump's a fucking idiot. And some of the shit that they do, you cannot justify. And I love to watch people even being on the side of like, yeah, I voted for him. Like, it's so funny to watch people chase their tail to try to justify that, because that motherfucker literally did the Nazi salute live on television.
Yeah, and I went online. I was like, "Oh, people are so upset," but I wasn't upset. I started laughing. I was like, "Look at this idiot!" And
Yeah,
now he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm autistic." And I'm like, "Please don't. Like, you're the richest man in the world. You've been out on stage before. You own multiple companies. You talk to people." And he didn't do it once. He did it twice.
yeah,
And I was
dude.
just like, "This is madness." And the thing is, bro, my family I'm part Greek, Ugandan, and German. They're all basically conservative.
Yeah,
They're all conservative. So like if they were over in America, they would have voted for Trump as well because Kamala, from what I could see, couldn't tie her shoelaces.
no,
But that doesn't mean I like Trump. Like
no,
I don't like politicians.
hell no. If that's people's first problem, regardless of their favorite excuses. And I've heard Fate say this, right? It's they like them so much because they're not a politician. Trump is a businessman. That's just as
Mm,
fucking bad, dude. Like that's
yeah.
literally a company man. That's just as bad. So like their first mistake is trusting anybody in politics because they're not there to help you for the most part. They
Yeah.
get their fucking pockets lined.
hmm Yeah, they're just businessmen. They're crooks, gangsters,
Yeah,
part of crime families. Yeah, like I understand. We live in democracy, or you guys over there, not so much in the UK anymore. A lot
yeah,
of shit going on over here, but you guys live in a democracy, and you kind of have to exercise your vote for the lesser of two evils, but
yeah,
still two evils. Like,
yeah.
don't know what as soon as I got onto Twitter, like I was talking to my friend because he hates Trump, and so he thinks the other side is good. And I'm like, no, I get your hate for him, but bro, the other side is not good
Just as
either. Like
bad.
they're just as bad in their own way. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's crazy. And I hate it's in fighting games, and here I am talking about it. As you get older, it's just hard not to talk about because it's just fucking everywhere. But
Yeah, it is everywhere.
but yeah, like Fate definitely seems like he's trying to be the Donald Trump of the MK community, and that's just it's ridiculous. But
He can't be the Donald Trump of the MK community because for all of Donald Trump's shortcomings, Donald Trump is still the president. So he's some level of intelligent to get there. Fate's stupid.
damn,
Fate is good at rage baiting. He doesn't even understand what it really is, and all Fate has to do for people to leave him alone is just not talk about them. But if
yeah,
he talks about them, because I talk about people on my channel, so I understand some people are not gonna like it, and I understand that if people make reaction videos about me or if people call me out, that's by my own doing because I decide to speak about certain people. Like I spoke about True Underdog. If I woke up in the
yeah,
morning and True Underdog had made a video about me, I'm not going to sit there going, "Oh, he's victimized me. He's coming for me." And you've got 460,000 subs. Like you're punching down. Like be a grown man about it. Put your big boy pants on. You spoke about people. They're gonna clap back. That's just
yeah.
the way it is.
There's people in chat saying that I'm probably gonna wake up to a video about me tomorrow, which is fun. Um,
hmm
I was respectful with Fate, obviously. I like this because it's a non-confrontational a system.
Yeah.
Regardless of how I feel about anybody, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect them. And that was double when it came to Fate because everybody expected me to. I'm expecting a video tomorrow. I am. But at the same time,
Mm.
I don't really care because you can sit back and objectively see that what he is doing is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's you cannot always come to an objective opinion like that on people. Most of it's subjective. Oh, I don't like his content. I don't like that content, whatever. But like a lot of the videos he puts out are just fucking hateful. Like I get stuck on it because it's like I don't understand how you can wake up and your first thought is immediately going to be like, I'm going to turn my camera on, turn my microphone on, start recording, and just say a bunch of derogatory things about a group of people.
Yeah, well, we know why he does it because if you look at his content, that's what drives the most views.
Yeah,
And he every now and then tries to step away from it and do other things, and then he realizes, oh, my own community doesn't even support this. They're here to watch me talk shit about people.
yeah,
And fair enough, if that's what he's into, just own it. But the fact that he sits there and says, "I'm not rage baiting people," is bullshit. And then he lies about the whole history of my engagement with him when all of it is on video because I make my videos and keep them up.
yeah,
Fate takes them down. He took down recently another live stream for whatever reason, probably realized he sounded stupid. And then he comes on here and he lies and he says that I can't even remember everything that he said because honestly, it all meshes into one with him. It's been the same song and dance for like a year now.
yeah.
Um, So I don't know. It's a broken record.
Yeah.
He'll make like he'll go through your video history or say, I knew it. See, Mike, he's
Yeah.
manipulated another one. It's just the same shit over and over again.
That was the thing. Like, you can actually, I'm not gonna lie. I guess maybe it was a bad decision, but somebody sent me when I first started streaming, like a weekend. Somebody sent me a message on my stream chat, and they were like, "Hey, have you heard of this fake guy?" And I'm like, no. Like, who the fuck is he? And they're like, oh, okay, go watch a video. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I reacted to a whole video on stream, and this is before I, anything. I privated that stream because I didn't want to start shit at that point.
Yeah.
But like, I knew about him before I knew about you, and I'd already come to my conclusions on him before I knew about you. So like, he can't, if he does try to say some shit like that, like Mike Hollow got another one, no, I knew about him before you and had came to that conclusion.
Yeah, and he tries to make things up that didn't occur because I guess some people that watch his videos, obviously I don't blame them. They're not going to go and fact check everything he says.
Yeah.
So he'll start running a random narrative that, Mike messaged Tooten on the side and said, hey, this is how we're going to conduct the interview. Or he'll say stuff like, oh, Tom doesn't want to say anything bad about Mike because he knows Mike's going to go after him. I'm just like,
that is,
does anyone believe any of this shit?
That is like, I hate to like throw a label out here, but that is schizophrenic type of crazy.
Yeah, I think, well, he's already said that he's got mental health issues. I just don't know if he's aware of how many he might have. And I honestly think that he should probably get checked out because he seems like this. He seems to disassociate. Even in the conversation we were having, I was asking him questions and he was like disassociated. And I was trying to stay in the conversation, but it was a bit difficult. It was like I was talking to one of my nephews,
Yeah.
and they were having a tantrum. Every time I was trying to say something, like, prove it,
Yeah.
prove it, go, prove it, go. And then he asked me at some point, what is a woman? And I was like,
oh my God, I forgot about that.
Like, come on. Yeah, everyone in the stream was laughing because obviously I'm Christian, I'm Greek Orthodox, I come from a conservative family. But what he was trying to do is he was trying to either I wouldn't say it, and then he would say to people, which he did,
Yeah.
oh, Mike doesn't know what a woman is, or I'd say it, and he tried to make the whole stream about turning people against me. So I was just looking, I was like, Fate, there's a very small number of people that you can get to turn away from me and go over to you. And those are the people that are like this clown George in the stream chat that are like, they don't know what is going on, they don't know how to tie their own shoelaces. So I don't know why he tried that. He made himself look very stupid.
Yeah, my wife at several points, because like I can't help it. I got that little bit of drama in me. I like to sit there. It was entertaining. My wife said multiple times, like, honey, why the fuck are you still watching this? They're just yelling at each other. And when the what is a woman thing came up, she literally went, oh my fucking God, and walked away.
Yeah, it was it's clown behavior because Fate probably doesn't know what chromosomes are. He probably doesn't understand medical anomalies. He doesn't understand any of that. He just said it because he doesn't know how to stay on topic. And it's kind of like it's normal with Fate. If you watch his content or when he's talking to someone that doesn't agree with him, he tries to move the conversation away very quickly.
Yeah.
He can't stay on topic with anything. And I could see he was getting nervous because he kept on turning and talking to something that wasn't there.
He thought he was The Rock.
Yeah, it's something The Rock does where The Rock turns and talks to thin air. We find it funny, but he kept on turning and talking, and then he accidentally picked up his camera and we saw it was just a little doll on the floor. And I was like, okay, I think I need to end this because this guy's not right in the head.
I actually did not see that part. I saw him keep turning and laughing and shit, and I'm like, are you pulling like a WWE stunt right now, dog? And so I didn't see him like turn the camera and like it was a doll. That's
it was weird behavior. And the thing is, I've always been upfront with Faye. I've told him we're not friends. Don't talk to me. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He comes into my Discord, which everyone in the Discord is like, why is he in here? And he was like, I basically told an individual called Jaded Rabbit to not copyright claim YouTubers. Like, don't do that. It's not right.
Yeah.
That individual is also. Well, we'll leave it there. I won't say anything further, but you can get the gist. And Fate was like, oh, thanks. And I said, cool, no problem. I said to him, we're not friends. Leave my Discord. I'm just saying this guy's going around doing this. It's not right to do that to YouTube. So I wouldn't do that to Fate.
Right.
So I said to him, respectfully, please get out of my Discord. Like, we're not buddy buddy. He also commented on one of my videos, which he deleted, but I took a screenshot of it. Like, he was just like a regular commenter. And if you got beef with somebody, usually when you comment on their videos, it's like because you got beef with them, so you kind of pointing that out. But he commented like he was just a regular viewer, and I was like, didn't we just spend 3 hours cussing each other?
Yeah.
So every now and then I'll say to him, stop trying to be my friend, and he gets really upset about it.
Yeah, a lot of people, I guess because I was nice, I am of the same opinion as you are. Like, you develop a friendship over time. You don't talk once and automatically like, hey, we're best friends. You know, a lot of people, I guess, took the fact that I was nice and respectful and non-combative as me and him are like best friends now. And it's like, no, I wanted to get his. I'm unfamiliar with a lot of it. I wanted to get his opinion as a neutral person on the matter, but most of that stream was just about him rage baiting me. And yeah, I find it funny because we've talked about it a lot in this discussion about like how he says he's not rage baiting. Blows my mind.
Yeah, I think obviously he knows he's rage baiting. He knows because he understands. He looks at his AdSense, he looks at his analytics, and he's like, okay, cool. These are the videos that do well.
Yeah,
I get it. I just don't get why he lies about it. Also, shout out to DM Smith in the chat, the goat. But yeah, no, I don't think he's a good human being. If I'm being real, I don't. I think he lies about almost everything. And obviously, there's receipts upon receipts upon receipts. The only reason that I haven't done any more videos on him is because honestly, I think people are tired of it. Yeah. And I think that live stream I did was like, okay, it's been a year since we've both been on the same live stream together. Maybe this will be funny for people to watch. Turned out to be funny, and that's gonna be it. Maybe we'll revisit in a year.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Oh man, it was entertaining. I can't lie. I sat there and I was giggling. It was fun. It was entertaining. Absolutely. Well, chat, do you have any questions for us before we potentially wrap things up? Because I know chat is talking about Fate as well, going off. Fate is a prime WWE entertainer, always a blast.
Even this George guy is saying Mike doesn't hate watch but has receipts on receipts on receipts. I just said that I've done live streams with him and he's taken them down and I've kept them up. Those are the receipts, dummy. Like, this guy is like, again, I don't hate watch people. Like, if you had Fate on here, I wouldn't be in your live stream commenting constantly.
Right.
I'll just be like, okay, they're having a chat. My community send me over stuff because they don't like Fate. So I don't have to sit there and torture myself with his ugly mug for hours, getting the part where he spoke about me.
Right.
That's what happens when you build a community, George. Don't know if you were aware.
I've actually, Raindo, I don't know if I'm saying your name right or wrong. Napper's been in my chat a lot. I need to check out his videos. Somebody asked.
Oh yeah, I like Napper.
Yeah,
Napper's got good videos.
I will say, Napper had been in my chat before I knew he made videos. He sounds entirely different from how I expected. Entirely.
Yeah, they always do. But yeah, I watched the live stream just to get an idea of what's maybe gonna be spoken about in here.
Yeah.
And like a couple of people in my community watched it, and we were just laughing at how much he was lying, and how much he was like playing the victim, and how much he tries to make out like people are so angry at him, and that they are trying to take him down.
Yeah.
But in order to take someone down, they kind of have to be on some sort of high or on a pedestal. And Fate's never been that guy. He's well, as Foxy called him, he's like the resident local. He doesn't like that name, but
I've heard him called that name a few times. I felt like I kind of did like a disservice to the community because like I went into that interview blind, right? Like, I wanted to talk to him about the video that he had made, how he, baited me into watching it, and then completely switched past. But like, it started, people were asking in chat, ask him about this, and I'm like, fuck me, I'm unfamiliar with it, but all right. So like, I'm sitting there taking everything he says with a grain of salt, and then I actually went back and like, no shit, like watched your videos. I know everybody's gonna say, oh, he's biased, he watched it from Mike's point of view. But you pretty much showed the facts, showed what he said and everything. So I felt like I did a disservice because like,
yeah,
I was having to take what he said with a grain of salt, but I couldn't call him out on anything.
Yeah, the problem is that the content that me and Fate have done together in terms of live streams, where Fate's saying that I'm lying in that, the problem is that Fate removes the videos.
Yeah.
So you can't really like argue against him because there's nothing on his channel unless I've also got the video on my channel.
Yeah.
But like even today, like or more recently, I think it was today or yesterday, he was talking about me and Tom Brady, and then he removed the video, and I was like, this guy realized that people really don't like him, and I get sent clips of him talking. So I don't know why he does it. Fate would be left alone if he just minded his own business. But
Yeah.
whenever he sees something else going on, he always wants to throw his hat in the ring as some sort of like credible source that, oh, I'm where it all started. Oh, this is what I was saying first. And the bottom line is that outside of me and him getting into it, no one cares about Fate. Like he's got his following, fair play to him. He's almost on 6K, but the wider MK community don't give a shit about Fate, and he needs to sort of come to terms with that.
I think it's definitely one of those things. It's like I feel like he's one of those people that thinks any publicity is good publicity, and that's not always true, especially in content creation, because there's so many. You're working shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people talking about the same things on the same game and shit, and there's a lot of community overlap there. You know, so like,
yeah,
bad publicity in content creation is definitely, in my opinion, not the best unless you've managed to make it to like low tier god levels.
Just because George is the only one, I guess, from Fate's community in here that is like defending him. So I guess I'll just address him. He's saying that it's not my job to defend the community from Fate. Take your hall monitor badge off. Tooten, did I say at any point that I'm defending the community from Fate?
No, he might have been referencing me, saying that I did a disservice to the community.
Because he's put my name there.
Oh, he did put your name there.
Yeah, I'm not defending the community from Fate. I don't like Fate, and that's why I cussed him. The community don't need me to defend them. I don't know. This is the thing. This is something that Fate does. He hears what he wants to hear, and then makes a video about it. Nobody said that I'm defending the community. I have my own pushback on the MK community, as everyone knows. They're not the biggest fans of some of the things that I have to say. So I don't know, man. George is like a prime example of like what Fate breeds. I can only imagine it's another 50-year-old man that is in his wife's basement smashing his keyboard.
Yeah. Guys, I'm sorry, I hate to be unprofessional. Excuse me for a second, I gotta use the bathroom.
No, go for it, bro. I'll entertain the stream in your absence. George, bro, listen. You need to get a life. I'm being real. No hate here. No hate, George. Let's talk. You need to get a life, bro. I get you don't like me. I understand. I don't like you either. Get my roots fixed. See, that's fair criticism. Maybe I do need to get my roots fixed. But you need to get a life, bro. You enjoy Fate so much, go donate to his streams, go watch his videos, leave his videos running on in the background so you can build his AdSense up. What are you doing over here? What are you doing over here, Fate? Fate, I called you Fate because you're the same person, basically. What are you doing over here, George? Take your sorry ass over to Fate's channel. Do us all a favor, get on your bike and start peddling. You're barely coherent. You're talking about the vaccine when we're talking about fighting games. Bro, sort your life out, okay? Get on your bike. Listen here, Shan. Get on your bike. Start peddling, alright? You understand? Put on your big boy pants and fuck off. I need you to know, George, that people like you can never get under my skin. Okay? Because the people's opinions that matter to me are the people in my community and my family and my friends. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you're nobody. Maybe you're somebody in the real world. I don't know. You're an anime avatar to me on the internet. You're a guy pissing in the wind. Get a life, okay? Get on your bike. Tooten's back.
I came back to your pissing in the wind. Get a life.
I'm trying to give George some constructive advice. Maybe he's an old man that is just down on it. Either way, you need to spend your time a bit more constructively.
Oh man, OBS just disconnected. What the hell?
Oh, you still like? I can see you on
Yeah,
YouTube.
there we go. It reconnected. Damn, technical issues today. Fuck.
George, they're not toys, they're figurines. Actually, get it right.
Oh no, no! Don't tell me, George. Come on, you can't be somebody that insults a man for having a hobby. Come
Yeah,
on,
for real,
bro.
man. This is how I know he's not left his basement. Because if you go, I went over to Japan and got those in Akihabara,
Yeah,
and Akihabara is like, have you ever been to Japan?
I. It's the one place I want to go in the world. Never been though.
It's like it's basically anime town. Like it's gigantic. Think of like, have you ever been to London?
No, I'd love to go there too. I've never been out of the U.S. Unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like let's say New York City,
Yeah,
but it's just anime, pure anime everywhere. So we got there and there was like shops dedicated to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Dragon Ball.
yeah.
And there was even, funny enough, there was one place that had Mortal Kombat stuff, but they were done in like an anime style. They were too expensive though.
I could
But
believe that.
yeah, it was great.
I actually just recently got into anime. Berserk
Mm.
got me into anime.
Oh yeah, Berserk's a classic.
And I was definitely one of the fucking idiots beforehand, like, oh, anime, you fucking weebs. And then I started watching, I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong, dog.
Yeah, yeah, no, Berserk is a good one to start with. Unfortunately, the adaptations have never really done the
Yeah.
manga any justice. But I would say that if you're getting into it, try Dan Da Dan. Sakamoto Days has just come out. Obviously, watch Dragon Ball because it's
Yeah,
like
I've watched all
a
of that.
benchmark. Yeah. But yeah, no, if you ever go to Japan, dudes, like you'll have a fantastic time. There's so much stuff everywhere. It's like a wonderland.
I would love to go. I cannot, like, obviously we've all been guilty of it, but like literally in this instance, George, you are on a live stream with two dudes who talk about video games. Now, here, let me give you some perspective. We're the dudes talking to each other because people want to hear us talk, and you're the dude in the comments section talking shit. Do you kind of understand that perspective here, George? Like, where you kind of stand in this situation, buddy? Because that's a little sad, homie.
I just don't get what he's so angry about. I really couldn't. I don't understand it. He's always come at me. I always see him commenting. I even saw him comment on Tom Brady's video today, and I was just like, "This is weird, dude. Like, you obsessed with me or something?"
I,
He said
I
you got 90
actually,
viewers. You got zero, bro. Why are
like,
you talking about another YouTube? You got zero.
I have 90 viewers. This is actually a high for me for the first time in a long time. But you got to think, George, I've been back at this for around a month and a half now.
Mm.
So I think that's pretty fucking good for a month and a half. But um, yeah, it's a skill issue, George.
Yeah. No, he does make me laugh. Like, I enjoy reading his comments. That level of hate for someone you don't know that's pretty weird. But
That's
it's the
yeah.
internet, innit?
That's something that actually drives me nuts. Like, I don't know. I don't see how you can have that much hate in your heart. It's like I think her name's Alexis, your mod.
Alexis, yeah, it's one of my mods.
I think you said or she said in chat that she sent you over the video I was talking about for Fate from last night. And I tell you, I just sat there. I'm not trying to like be on a fucking pedestal or be on a high horse or whatever, but like the amount of hate in that video, not just from him, but from the people that he associates with in his Discord, the amount of hate in that shit, like it blew my mind. It was hard to watch.
Bro, I got sent a video recording of Fate's Discord, which I've never put out. It's still in my Discord.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, it wasn't Fate that said this. It was somebody else. I think his name might have been Dragoon, or one of them. Somebody in there, and he was like, something about pulling my teeth out, and I was like,
Like
pulling my
legitimately?
teeth out? Yeah, like actually causing me harm. And I was like,
Wow.
first, I mean, I don't know who exactly followed up on it, but there was another message that was sent to me about. So my surname is obviously on my email,
Yeah.
and so they figured out that I was part German, and they were talking about it, and like people sending over to me saying, "Oh, they're gonna try and dox you, Mike," and I was like, "Big fucking mistake doxing me. If you come around this area, you're not even gonna make it to me. I don't live in the nicest area."
Right.
But I was just like, over a video game.
Right,
Like,
dude.
it's ridiculous.
Over internet shit, dude.
Yeah.
I do feel
It's
like
really weird.
I I hate to be like this. I hate to be the guy that says this. I really do, but I really don't think anybody in Fake's community, that kind of like sect of people and their beliefs and views, I don't think any of them are really going to be in a position to do anything to anyone who is at least slightly active. If you catch my drift, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always call me like internet tough guy, and I'm just like, it's not that I'm an internet tough guy. It's just that I live in the real world, and that you don't speak to people like that in the real world. Like if we had a
Exactly.
disagreement, I wouldn't start saying crazy shit online and be like, oh, it's just the internet. Just
No.
like I wasn't born on the internet. Like I grew up in the 90s without it, so I learned how to speak to people with respect, even if I disagree with them. But
Yeah.
some of these guys on here, they're just the way they talk is crazy. And then I say to them, well, you won't talk like that in person, not because I'm going to beat anybody up. It's because people just don't talk like that in person. We've seen what people are like. They give it all the talk online, and then you meet them in person. They're like, oh, nice to meet you, blah blah blah. And you're just
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
why? What was the point?
It's absolutely a case of, and George is even saying like, Mike, you threatened to punch someone IRL, you were absolutely an internet tough guy. It's not really about threatening to punch
I
anybody
didn't.
in real life. It's more of, if you talk to me, you won't talk to me like that in real life. You won't.
Yeah,
It won't
yeah,
come to me punching you because you won't fucking do it.
yeah. It's not about the size of the person. It's not about any of that. It's just that people don't behave like that, George.
Yeah.
Okay, in the real world, outside of mummy's basement, they don't behave like that.
No.
And for clarification, I didn't threaten to punch anyone. I told that racist guy that Fate seemed to become friends with that if you called a black guy darky to his face, he might punch you,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a dumb fucking thing to say to them, because all they have to do is say it, and then you're the idiot who has to back up your facts. It's not really a threat, though. Like, it's not a threat because nobody's going to say that to you in real life. I know that you live in this fantasy world where, like, you're in the shower and you're thinking about yourself as a Mortal Kombat character doing flips over Katana, smacking her on the butt cheeks. But, like, here's the thing. That's not how real life works. Like,
Yeah,
you're the people who talk shit on the internet like this, 9 times out of 10, their voice will crack when they say hello to you in real life.
yeah, 100%. Even Mike, how many black people are in jail beating someone up over the N word? See, this is what I mean. The more they talk, the more the brain rot comes out. It's not. I don't. First of all, I don't know what the jail statistics are for beating somebody up over the N word. It's a bit of a stupid thing to ask. And
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, we're playing video games. I'm giving my opinion on video games, and this is where it goes to.
Yeah. Right. Like, it's, yeah, Minzy, right? It's just a prank, bro. It's so fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
that's exactly the same. Thank you. That's such a
Yes.
good, like, that correlation fits, because these guys sit online and they're like, I can say whatever I want behind the comfort of a keyboard, but if you retaliate against me, you're the pussy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did we get here? It's the person that's sitting behind the keyboard talking the shit is the pussy. That's
Right.
the pussy.
Like, fuck, dude. I'm not trying to say like I'm a tough guy or anything, right? I'm not. But like, I'm not gonna threaten anybody or anything like that. But all I can say is, like, if anybody were to talk to me the way that some of these people talk to me online in real life, there'd absolutely be a problem. You
Yeah,
know?
I never called myself a tough guy either. They labeled me that. I just
Yeah.
said that I live in the real world and I don't
Yeah.
talk to people like that.
Like, I don't live in the nicest area either. You know, like, don't have the most money, you know, we live in a trailer park.
Mm,
So like, and like, when you drive down the main road in our town, there's a 9 times out of 10 chance that you're gonna see a cracked out motherfucker walking down the street. You know, it's rough. You know?
yeah. See, again, he's saying if he said it to my face, would I follow up on my threats? And this is again like they don't listen. At no point, guys, have I ever said I'm going to hit anyone on the
Yeah.
internet saying nasty things. I'm saying that you don't know who you're talking to on the internet and that they might retaliate in person. I
Yes.
don't understand what's hard to get here. Are you stupid or something? It's crazy, like how slow this guy is. I
It's
wouldn't do anything myself because I have something to live for. I've got people that rely on me. I've got dreams and aspirations. So I don't particularly want to go to jail over some loser with an anime avatar.
yeah.
But someone else in this area, I could tell you 100%. Yeah, you come around here and you drop the N bomb. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and the neighborhood's not going to help you. And we have no police presence around here either, so it's neighborhood law.
Damn, that's wild. Yeah, I would not be fucking around in that area. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't, bro. I don't go out in my area. If I want to go out somewhere, I get in my car and drive to another area.
Yeah.
This area is a disaster. It is an
Jesus.
I mean, my boy in the chat, John. John knows whereabouts I'm from. Don't say John, 'cause I don't want
Right.
people
Don't
coming around
dox.
to. Yeah, no doxing. But John knows where I'm from. John's close to me. Like he understands what these areas are like. You don't say things to people around here. Londoners are aggressive as it is. Um, saying, especially in this area, yeah, I don't go out in this area. So all these people are saying that I'm a tough guy. No, I don't want no beef with these people. They're crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, for fucking real. Like, when I lived in Florida, dude, like, I'm not even trying to make it like a racial thing or anything, but in Florida, in the area that we lived in, there is MLK Drive, Martin Luther King Drive. Like, my girlfriend at the time was like, "You are white. Don't ever drive down this road."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like these people don't know about, like, they sit back behind their keyboards in their house and they're like, I'm going to talk mad shit. I'm going to say whatever. I'm going to drop the N bomb. I'm going to drop the F bomb. I'm going to drop these bombs. And it's like, bro, you would get eaten up if you actually did that shit in real life.
Yeah, that's why I try to, the way I portray myself online is the way I portray myself offline.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to particularly start on anybody like personally. I just try to keep it to the games. But unfortunately, people like George and Fate are chronically online, so everything that they see it as like you attacking them personally, and
Yes.
then they start attacking you personally, not realizing you were just talking about a game. And it's very, very weird. I mean, it's kind of like you're on Twitter, so you see what people behave like
Yeah.
on Twitter. You say one thing out of line, and suddenly it's like you've insulted their mum.
Yeah.
It's very strange behavior.
The internet, man, it's just, I was talking to Total MK about it on the stream, because nobody wants to admit, like, when this shit started happening, from what I can remember, at least, I didn't remember it getting this bad until Trump's first term. To be completely honest, I feel like that's when everything got so disrespectful in the world. I mean, obviously we had our COG lobbies back in MW2 and shit, but like, as far as like professional personalities, celebrities being like super disrespectful politicians, like that trickling into online and how everybody acts on their day-to-day life with people online, I feel like that's absolutely when it started.
Yeah, I think it bled so hard into. I mean, we've always been split, but it's over here. It's a little bit weird. Actually, I can't even speak about our government. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
It's not good over here right now. But over in America, I've always observed it being split. But yeah, when Trump came in, it seemed like the battle lines were drawn, and there was like no more nuance. It was like pick a team. If you're a centrist, you're a coward.
Yep.
And now he's back. Yeah, I mean the memes are going to be great, but society, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't really comment because I'm not an American.
It's one of those things, like, our economy is going to be good. We're probably not going to be at war, but we're going to have to listen to the president of the United States disrespect other world leaders, celebrities, shit like that, other opponents for the next fucking 4 years, dude. It's going to be tragic to watch. But I mean, groceries will get cheaper and gas will get cheaper. That's nice, I guess, but fuck.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys. But the thing is, I would have felt sorry for you if Biden was in as well, because I don't think it'd be any different.
No.
I think if Biden went in, the right would be as angry as the left are right now. But it's a shame that it's bled into video games so much. Because even just talking to people now, it's like if you're seen talking to a certain person and they're either like right wing or this person's got like pronouns in bio, the other side wants to attack you. And I'm just like, we're still just gamers, guys. We're not changing the world here. We're just playing fighting games.
I got into it with somebody in my comment section because they're like, you absolutely have to talk about this stuff now. Like, you have to, because they're pushing it so hard in games. And it's like, no, you don't. I mean, I'm not changing anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think there's been a lot of stuff going on online. I won't say too much because I don't want to get your channel in trouble, but it's very polarizing things, and people are talking about different groups of people and how they're destroying the world and stuff. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, guys, we're playing Tekken and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Like, what are we
right?
talking about here? What is the end goal?
Yeah, like what? How did we get from fighting games to because fucking who was it? I hate I'm bringing it back to Fate again because it was the first video I ever watched for him. It was something. It was when Clive got revealed for Tekken 8. It was a couple days after, and then in his thumbnail it had something to do with Sonic being gay and being a furry. And I'm like, how does one or the other correlate, brother? What the fuck?
It's because like he the thing is, as much as I call Fate dumb, he's not dumb in the sense that he understands why people would click on things. Because I think he even mentioned it to you, where he's like, you have to like draw the person in with a thumbnail.
Yeah,
But I'm just like, but you really don't. And I'm confident in saying that my content is not rage bait. If I say something in the title and you see the person in the picture, that's going to be the center of the video.
yeah,
I can't remember a time that I ever did rage bait. Um, Especially when we're talking about people's sexualities and religions and that. But she keeps on trying to weave into fighting games, like talking about Christianity in fighting games and that. And I was like,
that was the weirdest thing. It's like,
I,
why?
I, I got about 5 minutes in because they were like, watch this, Mike. And I was like, do you know what? I don't care. Like, whatever. This makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
Everyone's always talking about let's just push buttons, but it's always the guy saying let's just push buttons that wants to talk about religion and politics.
yeah, yeah. I saw the title and thumbnail for the video that you're referencing, and I was just like, I didn't watch it. I was like, I'm not watching that dumb shit. I don't know how it got from point A to point B, but it's like my brother in Christ. We are watching a giant reptile man rip a princess with monster teeth in half. How do we get to the point where it's like Jesus Christ is our savior in Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's also like I've spoken like because I've got very very deeply like Greek Orthodox Christian family members
yeah,
and friends and that, and because of how my beef with fake sort of blew up, they've also seen it,
yeah,
and they're also just like, this guy's there like zooming in on Kitana's bum, talking about her elbow, but he's got a
yeah,
wife and he's a deeply religious man. Like, seems a bit weird, but okay, like to each their own. And that's what me and my sis was saying. We were
yeah.
like I was asking my brother, and I was like, if your missus saw this, what would you say? He was like, fucking slap me one. Like, what kind of dumb shit is this? You're
Yeah,
zooming in. Yeah, it's a video game, but you're still being a bit of a weirdo.
like, and I don't agree with bringing someone's family into it, but at the same time, you didn't really like do it in a like super disrespectful way. It was just more of like, are you really talking about a video game character like this? Like, you're married, dude. You
Yeah,
know?
I didn't make a disparaging remark about his wife. I said, you've got a wife. Like, well,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
And
He
he
tried to
really
make
took
out
that
like I was.
personally.
Yeah, because he doesn't listen.
Yeah.
If I had said, if I'd made a remark about his wife, then I'd get it. But I said, you have a wife. That's not
Yeah.
really bringing your family into it. That's
Mm.
reminding you you have family.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the internet, you 50-year-old man? Are
Yeah.
you serious?
My wife actually heard that point of the argument. I think because it was on that stream. Y'all were talking about that. And she looked at me and she said, if you ever said anything, even about a video gaming character like that, I'd go upside your fucking head. I was like, copy that, cool cat. Goddamn.
Yeah, like my all of my friends, my female friends saw it and they were like, that's gross. Like his poor
Yeah.
wife. And he took that as like, he's talking about my family. And I'm like, we're not talking about your family per se. We are mentioning the fact that you have a family and you're on the internet doing that.
Thanks, Chaka Shock. Thanks for the donation, bro. And the question is for Mike.
What's the name of the video where you react to Fate with Ellie? Let me get it for you.
I actually found it because he was talking about it, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You know, because he kept mentioning that. And like, I watched through the whole thing. I have to say, you know, I try to be an objective, neutral person and not take sides, but like, you did not like bring family into it. It was like, you have a wife, dude. That was it.
Yeah, saying like you have a wife is not insulting his wife. It's just pointing out that, hey, dude, you're being a bit of a weirdo on the
Yeah.
internet. You have a wife. But you know, fate takes things and he spins it, and because people can't be bothered to go and look through hours of content, which I don't blame them for.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Um, yeah, there's a lot, and I don't blame people for not wanting to go through like tons of content. The name of the video is Fate's in-depth and unhinged breakdown of Kitana's appearance in Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh
If
man.
anybody wants to watch it.
That was another like talking point with him. I think we kind of like agreed on it a little bit, and he actually like brought me over to the point like Mortal Kombat should go back to like being like more cartoony. Um,
Mm.
but like everybody's screaming that they want like the Melina skins and MK9 skins and the MK1 and 11 graphic stylings. Like, bro, everybody would just look like fucking porn stars. That would take me out of it.
Yeah, I don't mind the characters. Like, I like the 3D era aesthetic. I don't mind some racy costumes.
Yeah,
Just because Mortal Kombat's very gory and over the top, so I don't mind costumes being over the top. But there is a side of the audience that I guess Fate represents, where like it's almost like they want to sniff the screen, and if the character isn't naked, then the game is a complete failure and it's DEI and whatever.
yeah,
And it's like there's there's a better conversation to be had here. Like I get it's a fantasy, it's crazy, people are being torn to shreds. Having racy costumes is not a massive deal,
no,
but also don't sniff the screen if they put them in. Like stop acting weird.
for real. Like, I agree with that because Mortal Kombat 1, especially. I mean, just that graphic style, bro. Everybody would look like porn stars. And like it would
Yeah.
take me out of it for the most part, but at the same time, like you said, like people are literally getting ripped in half. Like you're watching a dude like Liu Kang and one of his fatalities is literally pushing Shang Tsung's head all the way down right out of his butthole. Like I don't know if anybody's realized like the fucking anatomy of that fatality, but that's how it is. So like a girl
Yeah.
wearing a crop top, what the fuck ever. But like that
Yeah,
Melina
I
skin.
don't mind. I don't mind it at all. Like I like the way the girls were dressed in the old Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do it in a more, don't want to say classy, but maybe there's a better way to do it that can satisfy everyone. But Marvel Rivals has got like very like curvy women. They're
Yeah.
showing a little bit of skin, and the game's gone over very well.
Oh yeah.
So it's not as over the top as Mortal Kombat, but it's less conservative than Mortal Kombat 1. So there's probably like a healthy middle ground they can find.
Somebody asked in chat, what do you have to say about Dynasty and Tom Brady? We've talked about Tom Brady a lot. I really like Tom Brady, dude. Tom Brady's a cool guy.
What do I have to say about Dynasty?
He's
Oh boy, do I want to go down this road?
Me and Dynasty have been
Um,
friends for 3 or 4 years, I think.
so I've never spoken about the Dynasty situation, and to be honest with you, there's not really much to speak about there. Me, Dynasty, and Tom did a video together, and we did that video, and yeah, we spoke afterwards, and we were in a group chat, and we spoke a little bit in there. Mostly me and Tom were. There was a point where Fate was talking shit about Tom, and I came to tell Tom, and Dynasty was obviously in the chat,
Yeah.
and that was really it. Like we were cool, we spoke, there was no issues whatsoever, and then one day, Dynasty blocked me and Tom. Well, he unfriended not just me and Tom, he unfriended a lot of people
Yeah.
and force blocked them so they could unfollow him. I didn't know why, so I messaged him. I thought something was wrong with him. I was like, maybe he's going through something. Let me send him a message.
Yeah.
I was blocked from sending him a message, so I was like, okay, that's weird. Like we were literally talking like maybe 2 or 3 days before. And he left the group chat. He unfollowed a whole bunch of people. I don't know who else he did, but I was like, okay, cool. You know, I didn't do anything to this guy. I don't know what his problem is, but I just left it after that. I never spoke about him again.
Yeah. Me and him have actually, funnily enough, we've sat down and ate Waffle House together.
Mm.
Where he was in my chat when I had 3 or 4,000 subscribers just starting MK, and we've talked ever since. Not doing the best right now, but I'm not going to go into that and make that public. But, you know, I still love the guy to death. I don't have a bad thing to say about him. I'd never talk bad about him. I love him to death.
Yeah, I've got nothing really bad to say about him. I wish he would have told me what actually happened because we were building a rapport with him,
Yeah.
and then he just sort of disappeared. But if he's got his own shit going on in his own life, and he just felt like he wants to cut away from certain people that maybe he thought might not be the best for him, then fair
Yeah.
enough. Like that was my last interaction with him.
I can definitely say, like, in his defense, for sure, like, he's kind of been the black sheep of the MK community for a long time. Like Uncaged and Caboose, True Underdog, History Behind the Warrior. They've all taken shots at the dude, just unnecessarily so, in my opinion, just because, like, he talks about a leak here and there. Like, they have been on his shit. So he's
I mean,
very untrusting.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I've got, we weren't friends. We were just like, I guess we were acquaintances, and we were getting on. But if he didn't feel safe or whatever in that group chat of me and Tom, then that's his right. I would prefer if I'm talking to someone, if they didn't want to speak anymore, and just say, "Hey, I'm going off in my own direction. No hard feelings."
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. That's why I've not made a single Dynasty video. I've not spoken about him on live stream. This is the first time, maybe like a year since that happened, that it came up. So got no ill will towards the guy. Wish him the best. Hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him. But I noticed on Twitter, I don't know if like you've talked about it too much, and we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to like hype it up yet. But somebody posted in the comments of that whole fate thing that True Underdog is actually willing to talk to you, dude. That's going to be an exciting discussion, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think maybe he's seen some of the stuff. Obviously, he's seen the videos that I've made about him, but he will know by watching the videos I made about him that I made it about his talking points. Whereas, like Fate, for example, it was insulting him.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, people in my comment section made jokes about True Underdog, and like I said, I laugh at people's jokes. I found them funny or whatever. But I personally have never said anything disparaging about him. So when I do speak to him, because he left me the comment, and then I said to him, "You need to open up your inbox so we can sort this out." I'll let him know that this is not going to be an ambush or whatever. I know Tom Brady wants to speak with him, but I've told everybody in my community, although I let people come on to speak, if True Underdog is not comfortable with it, then it's not going to happen. So I don't want him to feel like he's getting bullied. I think maybe he agreed to speak to me and not some other people that tried to reach out to him, because I'm trying to talk about his viewpoints on the video game, whereas people like Fate are trying to like disparage his character or like put him down.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly, when it comes to True Underdog, man, I think back, like, the dude literally taught me how to play Street Fighter 5. Like, not personally, obviously, but, like, through his videos. So it's been, like, a weird turn to see him go down, like, this MK purity route, where he's, like, only talking about MK. He's not clickbaiting. I'll say that,
Yeah. He's definitely clickbaiting.
Yeah.
100%. That's the biggest criticism I think people have of him.
Yeah, like how Mortal Kombat 1 killed Scorpion bracket seriously. I saw that. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah, no, it's I've not been a fan of his content for that reason, but admittedly, I found True Underdog in the MK11 days. I didn't know of him before that, so I can't really speak to his older content. But for a long time now, it's been very clickbaity content, and just like saying things that I don't think he's informed on, or at least he hasn't really thought about his take. But it's paying his bills, I mean, him and Fate are rage baiting, but one of them's getting paid for it, so I can't really hate on him for that.
Yeah, I actually, when I did that reaction to his Mortal Kombat 1 haters are dumb video, I cut out a part of the video that I probably should have left in, because it's the truth. I mean, anybody can go look on stream and see it, but like that video, he had like this big sponsorship, like he was promoting it at the beginning of the video in the comments, and really, like, as a content creator, we know that when we get sponsorships, like, they need to get views. So, like, I kind of, like, assumed that was the whole reason that video was made. And it just felt really disingenuous.
Yeah, the whole sponsorship thing, like I said, so I was talking to my boys and I was like, because I've had people reach out to me for sponsorship and I've had one sponsor so far.
Yeah.
I get, like, they do want you to not cause too much of a racket.
Yeah.
But I already work 2 jobs, So I said like the money I get from the views of people watching or like any donations, I'm happy with. Like even if that's £100 for the month,
Yeah.
I didn't come back to YouTube to like be like, okay, this is my way out. I've already made a decent living. I've already got a savings account. I've already
Yeah.
paid my car off. So anything that the community gives to me extra is like I try to like sometimes hold tournaments and the winner would get like £100, or like I was doing this thing where I was like finding people that I know that are streaming and just being like just give them £10 and be like have a good stream or whatever. Like I tried to
Yeah.
give back in different ways. And so with sponsorships, there is one that I want to take, but I'm a little bit worried to reply to the email because of all the hacking stuff.
Yeah. It's
But
terrifying.
yeah, the one that I got was really good. They were really really good to me. They treated me really really well. The offer they gave me, like the sponsorship offer, was incredible.
Yeah.
And I did it for 3 months and I was happy with it, and we ended it there. But I've been super hesitant to do it again because I like speaking my mind and I don't want to be told, hey, you know, careful with what you're saying there. That kind of like kills the fun for me.
Yeah. Have you, so you've had sponsors like tell you that you have to kind of keep it not controversial? Because like every sponsor I've ever done is like, bro, go for it.
Yeah, so I can't say, obviously I can't say who it is,
Yeah.
but I've had conversations in person with people that run like some smaller businesses. Like one of them was one of them was like a hair product business,
Yeah.
and I had a conversation with them in person, and they were talking to me about it. And obviously, because people was asking me questions about my hair, they were like, maybe it's a good opportunity because they were looking at my channel and they were connected to somebody that I know.
Yeah.
And I said, they said to me, some of your DEI videos,
Mm,
because the product that we produce is predominantly used by Caribbean and African people. They might not really appreciate some of your takes.
yeah.
And I said, well, sorry, those are my takes. Like I'm not changing them. So that one didn't really pan out. And I had another one where they didn't want me to not speak about the things I was speaking about, but they wanted me to speak about specific things as well, like sort of like make the whole video about their product. And
Mm,
even though they were offering me nice things, I was like, that's gonna hurt the quality of my channel because
yeah.
nobody's here to listen about this product. No one cares. You
Yeah.
want me to do it, I'm gonna get paid for it, but I said to them, no, I'm not doing that. I can do an advert in a video. I'm not making a whole video about a particular product.
Yeah, I've had to haggle with a couple of sponsors in the past. I never had to sign an NDA agreement, so like I can be like open and honest about it. With Dead by Daylight, I did a sponsorship for Raid Shadow
Mm.
Legends. Maybe hurts, maybe to chat, hurts my character a little bit, but they paid nice, and I didn't really lie because I played the game at the time, and it was actually pretty dope. So I wasn't like
Yeah.
lying about anything. But yeah, they were like yeah, bro, because I was like I'm going to put this in a more controversial video because I'm talking about the balance of Dead by Daylight. One of the developers was being a complete jackass at the time, and they're like, go for it. I'm like, sweet. They were pretty chill about
That's
it.
the best way to be, man. It's just nice that they did that to you. I do have to give a shout out to DM Smith in the chat. DM Smith has donated so much to me. Like it really has made like the way the community have been towards me has been really nice.
Yeah,
They shout to my streams and like they'll donate and whatnot, and that has been the most fun. Like the live streams talking with people,
yeah,
because that's why I've been like, I don't need to go to a sponsor because like I'm looking at my analytics on the live streams, even when we do a random one about some nonsense that has nothing to do with like anything in particular,
yeah.
people are watching them to the end. And obviously you probably know, like as YouTubers, you want people to watch your videos as much as possible
Absolutely,
because
yeah,
that's what will drive revenue, and people are doing that. So I'm like, unless a sponsor comes along that is like incredible, I'm not gonna neuter my content to take something on. I already have a laptop. I don't really need to send me another one.
yeah. Like chat, you really wouldn't believe like how many sponsors, like especially for like people who are under 100,000 subscribers, they will offer you a good amount of money and some free products, but they will like demand that the whole video be about them. And it's
Yeah.
kind of wild.
Yep. And I know loads of YouTubers that do it, and yeah, they get the products, and
Yeah.
that's great. The products would cost a couple thousand, and it it was it's good that you're getting a free product, but at the end of the day, the people that come to watch your video don't give a shit about that product. They
Yeah.
couldn't care less.
And they're gonna be
So
put
I
off by the video. If you're doing a whole video about it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, this guy's just gonna take company deals, product deals, and not talk about like what we're here for." You know?
Yeah. So I'm more interested in like serving the community than I am taking on sponsors. But if my sponsor also serves my community, then I will take it on.
Yo, DM Smith, thank you for the $10 donation. This for letting a real one on. Bro, like I said, like I've said throughout the stream, man, since I've came back, Mike has been like one of the main content creators I've been watching, dude. He's
I appreciate that, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Like I've just enjoyed his takes. I've enjoyed a lot of what he's had to say. I don't think I've disagreed with one thing, which makes it really easy to talk to someone, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, really enjoyed it.
Is that like I try to like let people on that disagree with me to get where they're coming from.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, you do get a situation where I don't think a lot of people like talking on camera, which is fine. Like I can respect that. I'm not going to put anyone down for not doing it, but it kind of stifles conversation.
yeah,
But that's one of the main things I've been trying to do is like I don't want to be that content creator that's like, okay, I'm approaching 20K, you can't talk to me, I'm better than you, blah blah blah. I'm just a guy
yeah,
like everybody else on the internet. I just happen to have a following, but I tried to make my live streams where I'm like, okay, this guy hates my guts. He's cussed me out on Twitter. Even this George guy in the chat,
yeah,
if he said to me, I want to say something, I'll be like, okay, cool. As long as you don't say an F slur, because then we're all gonna get in trouble. You can jump on. You can let me know what you think. Even like DM Smith, he comes to my streams all the time. Like there, he said it. He disagrees with me on MK1 a lot,
yeah,
which is I have no problem. Some people leave me comments saying you're boring, Mike. Can you smile more? Which is fine as well because that's their opinion. I have no issues with that at all. My issue comes when I'm talking about a game and they're acting like I'm insulting their mum.
yeah, yeah. Um, somebody just said something in chat and I fucking completely lost it. Oh, George is still in here. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
George's
George.
commitment is crazy.
It's dude. This has been almost a 2 hour chat, and Buddy has been here the whole time, just
Oh
talking
my goodness.
shit.
I couldn't do it. Like if I hated someone that much or I disliked their
Yeah,
content, maybe I might leave a comment and I'll be like, going to the gym, I'm gonna go play a game or chat to someone. I couldn't be here for 2 hours just
yes.
hate typing.
Oh my god, dude, that is insane. And also, like, what you were just talking about, like having people on, regardless of how big you get. That's kind of like the weird position I'm in right now. Like, I have a decent amount of subscribers, but all of them are from a previous time. So people look at my channel and they're like, "Oh, he's big," but I'm getting like 1,000 views a video. You know, so like, regardless of anything, it's just I feel like regardless of how big you get, having an open platform for people to like sit down and talk about disagreements with any type of opinion when it comes to like video games, fighting games, whatever. I think that's
Yeah.
a real good thing.
Yeah, because in the UK right now we've got this whole thing. They're called like the FGC Illuminati, and I guess they think that they're like untouchable. And
Yeah.
I don't want to create a platform where the community obviously come to my channel. They are the ones that are supporting me and helping me get out there. And then I'm just like, no, this is my echo chamber. You guys listen to me. I
Yeah.
don't want to be like that. And I also don't like this whole Illuminati shit that's going on in the UK with these content creators. So I trying to be the opposite of that.
Right. Hey, Dino, oi oi, just doing a throwback. The fuck is going on? Yo, thanks for the fob, bro. Dino just hanging out with Mike Hollow, dude. Um, having a good chat about some of the other creators in the space and fighting games. Thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. But no, yeah, actually, that's kind of been a problem in the Mortal Kombat community. Like I hate to like throw names out there, but like I knew about it because of another creator who was bigger in the space. There's kind of like an Illuminati, or there was an MK11 when it came to creators and gatekeeping other creators when it came to WB. You know,
Yeah.
I think you can
Yeah.
probably assume who a few of them were.
Yeah, I don't know in the MK11, although like if you know the name, I've got no problem saying names. I can probably imagine people like near the very top in the commentary game because it's
Yeah,
very similar to here in the UK. I was talking to King J yesterday, obviously about his whole situation and how like
yeah,
they're trying to like push him down when he's not having the best luck. but they don't realize that King J has other things going on outside of YouTube. So
Yeah.
it's like that. It's not cool to see them try to punch one of their peers while he's supposedly down.
Yeah.
The thing is that like I, not to make myself sound like I'm like a sigma or something. I'm taking on the world by myself, but
Yeah.
the good thing with me is that I already have my savings account. I already have a community that I know will support me. And I'm not even I'm not talking about donations. I mean literally just showing up to videos and talking to me.
Right.
Um, I already have two jobs, so I can go at these Illuminati figures, and they could say, "Oh, you're not going to get a commentary gig or whatever." I'm going to say, I didn't want to commentate anyway. I'm not
Yeah.
interested." So they can't. They don't have that hold over me. Where I've been messaged by a couple people. I won't say their names, just because I don't want them to lose their opportunities. But a couple people reached out to me and like, "Yeah, I can't say anything because if I do, they're not going to let me do this and they're not going to let me do that." And I was like, that really does suck.
Yeah.
But I'll speak for you, and there's nothing that they can do about that.
Yeah. It's kind of disappointing when it comes to like cliques like that forming, especially around content creation, like opportunities, because it feels like the old blood wants to keep it pure, whatever. That's kind of how it feels. Especially in content creation, because I directly saw some of the messages that went back and forth between a few of the MK creators during MK11, and they were like literally talking to the community manager, like saying, "Yeah, I wouldn't work with this creator. I wouldn't talk to this guy." And it's like,
Yeah, I'm not
holy
surprised.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I got invited by WB to play Injustice 2 with Foxy.
Yeah,
We were the first two people in the UK, as far as I'm aware, to use Black Adam and Aquaman.
yeah,
And that was the last time I ever heard from WB. I don't think it's because of any one particular content creator. I kind of did that to myself when I started talking shit about them. But they definitely do that. They definitely pick and choose based on who they like. They will tell people in charge, don't work with that
yeah,
individual. They will even snake each other, which is something that I've seen as well. They'll snake people that they're actively working with to further themselves. So when I say that, like, I'm super appreciative of my community and people around it that like donate and watch my videos and spread them around. And I've given people like full permission, take my clips, put them in your YouTube videos, do whatever you want. Because the way that I see it is, I can sit here and yap into a camera for as long as I want, but if I don't have people watching or supporting, then the fun's kind of gone because you can't
yeah.
engage with anyone.
It's really the engagement that makes it what it is for me. Like
Yeah,
the most disappointing thing is putting out a video that gets like a bunch of fucking views, but there's like 20 or 30 comments. And it's like I literally like I take points of my day, like when my kids are eating lunch and we're watching TV, like I love reading my comments and like
yeah,
responding to all of them.
yeah. It's yeah, the comment section is always the most fun. That was something that Fate was laughing at me for actually, which I found really weird. He made a comment. It was like, "Oh, you definitely see Mike in his comment section," and I was like, "Is that a bad thing to engage with your community?" It was like he was acting very holier than thou, and I was like, "That's a bit of a weird thing to say.
That
Seems like
is, yeah.
you're above them or something."
Like it's one of those things I hate to call like the people I don't know what to call them, but I hate the term fans. Because bro, I'm
Mm,
just a dude talking about fucking fighting games. Like I don't have fans, you know?
yeah, yeah, no, I completely agree. There's just, I just say the people in the community. I try to get to know them as well. Like I'll go in the Discord because I'm always working. It's hard to reply sometimes, but I know them by like their gamer tags or like DM Smith, for example. I know you. I don't even have to see his name. I know his profile picture.
Yeah.
So I try to like build a rapport with my community. When I went to London Comic Con recently, some people were there and they were like, "Oh, hey, it's me, blah blah blah. Or, I watch you and whatever." And it was nice. It was nice just sitting there and talking to people and seeing how they're doing in real life. And there was actually one guy who hate comments me all the time. He's always like, "You're a waste man. You're this. You're that. I hate you."
Yeah.
And then he saw me at Comic Con and he was the nicest guy. And I was like,
It's funny, yeah.
"Why? What?" And he was like, "Oh, it's funny." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's not."
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's one of those things. It's like we talked about earlier. Big and tough
Yeah.
online, you know?
Yeah, it's not like I didn't approach him. I mean, I didn't know it was him. Obviously, I was walking past and I kept on seeing him looking at me, and I was like, I didn't approach him angry, and even when I found out who it was, I wasn't angry or anything. I kind of just laughed and said, "Why do you do it?
Yeah.
Do you get some sort of weird kick out of it?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's funny," and I was like, "All right, I guess." And he stopped doing it now, obviously, because we've met. But it was nothing like, "Oh, I approached him and puffed up my chest," and
Right,
"Oh, what
right.
are you saying now?" It was just like I just sort of laughed. I was like, "Come on, man, you're like 30 years old."
Yeah. That's the thing though. Like we talked about earlier, that's what kills me. I feel like it's always the older like elitists in the Mortal Kombat community that's always got like the most negative things to say personally about people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's no different in other communities. Tekken's going through its own thing. Street Fighter and KOF seem pretty tame.
Yeah.
KOF's community is obviously smaller, so I'm not sure they can afford to try and take each other out.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter is always tame. Although I have heard of stories about like an FGC Illuminati with that as well, and
Yeah.
commentators doing things to each other. So
I actually
I
think
guess it's
Punk.
wherever you go.
I actually think
Yeah.
Punk and
Commentators
Minna
have a lot
are
of things.
yeah. Punk and Minna are at it like right now, I think.
I saw that on Twitter. It's
Yeah.
quite funny.
Um yeah, actually Dino is one of those dudes who's been in my fucking chat forever. And I just remember him. Yeah, and yes,
Mm.
Dino, I remember the guy. Every video I made for MK11, there was a dude in the comments. Without fail, I want Reptile. That was all he would say. Every fucking
Yeah.
video.
I've got one like that. He's got a frog avatar, and every time he comments, it's like Tekken 8 is trash. I'm just like, all right, man, that's fine.
You know, that reminds me, I watched I had one of your videos pop up last night before I went off to bed, and it was your video on Mortal Kombat 1 versus Tekken 8 from True Underdog.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I was like, I just enjoyed watching it because like that's kind of like the mentality in this community right now. It's like we're gonna put Mortal Kombat 1 versus Tekken 8, but we're only gonna trash on the other thing and act like our thing is the best.
yeah, yeah. It's very tribal right now.
Yeah.
I think the MK community are like very defensive right now because it's been two bad games in a row,
Yeah.
and I think because some people they get really passionate about these games and they get defensive. Um, if MK comes out of another bad game, they're gonna implode. It's just gonna be a chaos. I'll be here to say, look, it's a
Yeah.
bad game, guys. I know they're gonna hate it. They're gonna. There was one guy that messaged me. It was like, when the Evo numbers come out for MK, please don't make a video on it, Mike. And I started laughing. I was like, oh, I have to make a video. And it
Yeah.
was like, please leave us alone.
I actually like I legitimately am worried that if MK2, MK12, whatever the fuck they want to call it, if it's bad, I feel like we might be heading down like a Marvel versus Capcom route. Like no shit.
Yeah, yeah. If they strike out again, I can see WB taking the property away from NRS and
Yeah.
saying someone else is going to do it, or just restructuring everybody there and bringing in some new blood.
Yeah.
I don't think they can afford a third game to go down the way this one has, because the reception to it has been insanely negative.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It really is genuinely crazy. I worry about that too. And I feel like if they do move away from NRS, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
But yeah, potentially. It's hard to say really. I think they should just pretend that MK1 didn't happen and just
Yeah.
go back to the original timeline and just give us what we want. I
Yeah.
don't think they'll do it, but I think with City of the Wolves coming out and Virtua Fighter and Street Fighter doing really well, and not sure about Tekken right now. I'm not sure if Tekken's doing okay, but we've got a healthy amount of fighting games. Even arena fighters are coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe Mortal Kombat will be like, okay, we really do need to step out because we're getting lost in the shuffle here.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with Marvel versus Capcom, dude. That went from like Marvel 4 being a 1 in 1,400,003 chance to like, dude, they're probably working on Marvel 4 right now.
Yeah, yeah, Marvel 4 is definitely coming, and I really hope that it has the same level of love and care that Marvel 3 did, because even though I don't like playing those games at all, I love watching them.
Yeah.
They're so much fun. And it's kind of sucked that there's been no Marvel presence in the tournament scene for some time now.
Yeah.
So I really do hope that they come out swinging and they give us something special. Just for the Marvel fans as well, because I feel like when one scene suffers, everyone else suffers with it.
Yeah.
I think when you've got a healthy group of fighting games, the scene is they're not at each other's necks as much because they're not defending their game. Getting all tribalistic. They're just focusing on their game.
Just having fun.
So Yeah, I really do hope that the developers have learned, MK and Capcom have learned from Marvel and Mortal Kombat, and we don't repeat this again.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna be angry if the Marvel 4 doesn't look as good as Marvel Rivals, because holy shit, all the animations and everything in that game is just perfect. Like that shit looks
Yeah,
crazy good.
yeah, and I don't even I've played it once with a couple of friends, and I'm not into hero shooters, but I played it and I was like, this is a very, very good game.
Yeah,
It's beautifully animated. The windscreens are crazy. The character models are great. They understand their fan base,
yeah,
and people have received it very positively. So I hope Marvel sees that and they're like, stop doing all this stupid shit to the female characters and making the male characters dumb,
yeah,
and just indulge in what we grew up with Marvel.
for fucking real. Somebody asked in chat, intellect, Tooten, question, do you actually like Fate? Um, like genuinely? Or, well, here's the thing, dude. I talked to him, but like, I don't like how he presents himself. Like, especially if you go watch his video, like I've talked about in this stream with Mike, if you go watch his video from last night, dude, it's genuinely like one of the most hateful videos I've ever seen in the fighting game community. Like it was nasty. So like to be completely personally honest, I didn't mind talking to the guy. He was respectful with me. He was kind, but I just don't think he's a good person.
Yeah, he's like a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
He will say certain things to you on camera, and then rather than like, and even when you were pressing him on the whole Allah is Satan thing to
Yeah.
tell him that that's just a nasty thing to say, can you accept that that's wrong? It really took a long time for him to just. He didn't even really walk it back the whole way. He just kind of said, "Yeah, I'll be nicer."
Yeah.
I was just like, "Bro, like, what? Are you 10 years old? Can't you just say sorry?"
I think the most he said, if I remember correctly, the most he said was, "Yeah, I probably could have handled that different." And I was like, I mean, I guess that's better than nothing. But at the same time, dude,
Yeah.
just say sorry.
I was like, you think you couldn't have handled that any
Yeah.
better than calling their god Satan? Like,
Yeah.
beef, like he's just not he's almost not a real person to me. It's like a really, really badly designed like side character in an anime that just does dumb shit all the time and then is surprised when the main character like laughs at him or something.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
I don't know. He's such a weird guy, and Total MK as well is he's very, very odd. Like he makes me sick when I look at him.
I
Every time I
had
hear him talk, I'm like my skin crawls.
Bro, I had an easier time talking to Fate than I did Total MK. Like, I don't know if you saw any of that. But like I tried my best. I even got
Mm.
him like in a point to what the fuck were we talking about? We were talking about Brusque and how Brusque is like quitting to talking about Mortal Kombat entirely. And
Mm.
Total MK left a comment on Fate's video reacting to it saying like, "See, told you these guys were phonies. I never left."
Mm.
And
Makes sense.
I got him kind of like cornered. I wasn't trying to, but he cornered himself, and I just kind of pointed it out. He was like, I was, because he went a span a few years ago of uploading. He like uploaded 6 videos in a year, and I'm
Mm.
like, his direct quote for Brusque was, "WB and me don't have the best relationship." And then he goes on to say, "I took a break. I went on strike because WB and me didn't have the best relationship." But at the same time, he's sitting there calling Brusque a phony and a fake
Yeah.
MK fan. And I'm like, dude, you can't give somebody else the same grace you give yourself.
Yeah, like they blow smoke up each other's asses. I think like they'll say, "Oh, these people are not real MK fans because they like the 3D games, or they're not real MK fans because they like MKX."
Yeah.
And it's like, last time I checked, those are all Mortal Kombat games. They're just different styles of Mortal Kombat. So if someone turned around and said, "You're not a real Mortal Kombat fan because you like an outdated version of Mortal Kombat," would that make any sense?
Yeah.
The
No.
answer is obviously no. Brusque Poet is going off to teach the youth.
Yes.
For Total MK to be like, "See, he's a grifter or like he's a tourist or whatever," I'm just like,
Dude,
bro, what is wrong with you?
what are you like? Mortal Kombat is not end all be all, bro. Buddy is literally going off to teach and try to be the college professor that he had, which inspired him to do well in college. And Like, we were even arguing whether that was based or not. And I'm like, bro, what's your fucking definition of based? Like, that's based as fuck. Like,
Oh my god.
I don't know. But yeah,
Well, so he said that, oh, that's it. He's not based for that.
yeah, we literally sat there. You could watch it. It was like a 20-minute argument about whether it was based or not.
Oh my god, like Total MK, like he's just the reason that I refuse to engage with him is that he's genuinely so stupid that I don't feel like he will be able to follow the conversation. At least Fate is entertaining somewhat. Like Fate's stupidity, like they said, he's a locale, right? Everyone laughs at him, but
No.
when Total MK speaks, it's like I genuinely cringe. I'm just like, oh, like I can smell this through the screen. Like, please stop talking. Nothing he says is coherent. If Fate doesn't like somebody, Total MK don't like them. How
Yeah.
can you insult Bros Poet because he wants to go off and do something meaningful with his life, and then correlate that with, see, he never liked MK anyway.
It was like he was saying some shit like, well, I've been doing this the whole time. And it's like, yeah, dude, like these games came out when you were Brusk's age. You know, these games came out when you were close to your 20s. Brusk started doing videos with MKX. Buddy was a teenager. And I'm like, is someone not allowed to grow in their morals, values, and what's important? And he's like, oh, I guess, but you know, I never quit. And I'm like, bro, you are so fucking unreasonable.
Yeah, maybe he should have quit because Brusk Poet's channel is actually successful and he's walking away from it.
Yeah.
Total MK's channel is basically a rock in the water. So, don't know what exactly is he doing other than sitting there and making pee poo poo jokes at other people. A grown man.
No.
Didn't he do that to you?
His video responding to me is literally titled "Poo Poo Pee Pee Tooten."
It's just. Oh, George is back. Almost like once the money started to dry up, people had to change. Weird how that works. No.
Oh my god.
How old is Bros Poet? He's in school, right?
He's younger than me. He's a year younger than me. He's 25.
Yeah, so he's obviously finished what he's doing at university, George, if you know what that is. It's a place you go to learn. And he's decided to go and do something to help the youth. That's kind of how it works, George. You go through stages in your life and you go on to help other people or you help yourself or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not about the money always. It's about doing something meaningful. I know you know nothing about that since you've been here for 3 hours in a man's comment section that you don't like, but that's the gist of it.
A very small percentage of people actually continue into adulthood to chill in their mom's basement and play Mortal Kombat. Very small percentage.
Yep.
They exist. I mean, you're living proof of that, but you know. Anyway.
It's in your Fate tried to be like, because I stay at home and I look after my mum.
Yeah.
Because my mum left and went to Cyprus because obviously I'm half Greek, so she wanted to go live out there.
Yeah.
But the economy wasn't great, and so we got her to come back here, and she doesn't work anymore, so we look after her. And I'm reluctant to leave right now because she's not doing the best.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I mean she's strong and everything, but
yeah.
I like being here and paying for her bills and that, and so I look after my mom and I pay for my own shit and whatever. And Fate tried to use that as a dig.
Yeah.
Oh, he lives at home with his mom. I was like, yeah, I came back home to make sure my mom's okay because I was living with my boy Serge and we got a place in a different area and it was a really, really nice apartment. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
We were having a great time there, but I said to him, I gotta go back, man. Like, because Greek families tend to like stick together. They don't really like break apart very often.
Right.
So Fate tried to use that as a dig, but forgot that he doesn't earn any money. He doesn't work. He doesn't contribute anything outside of AdSense. And so I was like, how can you insult me for helping my family?
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything. You're not literally doing anything. I couldn't understand that.
That I don't even understand how you can begin to come to a conclusion like that on someone or like an insult like that, right? With someone taking care of their mother. Like, I mean, maybe he had a bad relationship with his mom or something. I don't know. I did. But like, if my mom needs me, I'm there, bro. Like, and you're going to make fun of another man for like living with his mom to take care of her when he's paying for everything. That's wild. That's wild. That's whack.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very proud of the fact that my mum doesn't have to lift a finger. She can
Exactly.
sit in her bed and watch her TV shows, or if she needs something, she'll come upstairs and be like, Mike, I need you to do a shopping for me,
Yeah.
or I need you to drive me here, or I need this paid, or I want to go here. Like we're sending her to go to Cyprus, or no, Turkey, sorry. She's going to Turkey soon.
Yeah.
And she just gets to like do that. She gets to go and enjoy herself, and
It's
I'm
great.
okay with that. Like I'm happy to look after my mum for as long as she needs it.
Yeah.
And luckily, any of the girls that I've been involved with, because I'm single now, but even the girls that I was involved with previously, they would come over and they were all from family orientated houses, so they understood, and they were here as well, like making food and whatnot. So hopefully, then if I do end up dating somebody, they're the same because my mum comes first. So fake trying to use that as a dig for me. I'm proud to look after
Yeah.
my mum.
Dude, I look forward. He doesn't do it often. My granddad raised me, as I said. Um, Rough childhood. My mom was into some bullshit, right? But my granddad got me when I was about 2 and raised
Mm.
me. He is in almost 80 now, walks on a cane, is still the most independent, I can do it myself motherfucker I've ever met. I look
Yeah,
forward to the days that he calls me and he's like, hey, AC, bro, I need your help. Can you come do this for me? I look forward to that shit, you know?
yeah. It's nice to help them because she did so much for me when I was
Yeah,
growing up. Um, so I'm whatever she wants, I'm happy to look after her, and she'll come first before anyone else.
exactly.
Any girl that I get involved with, they'll have to understand that. Um, like most people are reasonable. They're not like George and Fate that don't understand how to look after their significant
Yeah.
others or their family members or whoever it is. Um, but yeah, we're happy here. Like it's not we're not happy about the area that we're in. Obviously, it's not a great area,
Right.
but we've taken precautions. There's cameras everywhere. There's I don't know if you can see over there. I've got like a stash of things
Yeah.
just in case somebody ever broke in.
Aren't they trying to ban
Um,
those, dude, in the UK?
uh, Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can buy them, but you can't take them outside. But
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
gonna take them outside. It's if
Yeah.
someone comes inside.
Fuck, you break into my house, you're gonna meet the sharp end of a fucking katana.
Yeah,
I'm
for
a
real.
little bit, more barbaric. Thank God. I will say, thank God for some of America's more lenient gun laws. I
Mm.
have my own protection in this trailer park. A pretty big hole
Yeah,
going into somebody.
I'm so glad we don't have guns here because British people would not have any gun discipline whatsoever. If they legalize guns today,
Yeah.
Britain will fall by tomorrow, 100%.
Jesus. Yeah, we got a bunch of old fucking like hunting rednecks here. They teach gun control, gun safety, all that. Like I've known that shit since I was like 4. So
Yeah, yeah. I've been to shooting ranges before. I'm not against Americans owning guns.
yeah,
I think it's sad sometimes when you hear about all of the shootings that go
yeah.
on and all of these children that suffer. So I don't know if there could be like stricter laws, but I'm
I
not
think there should
for
be.
taking guns away.
I am sitting in a house that has I have an AR-15. I have the Demon. I
Mm.
have 2 Glocks, and I've had an AK. I've had a 1911. I've sold them, but I will still sit here and tell you like we need stricter gun laws. We
Yeah,
need like more in depth psychiatric evaluations on people.
100%. I think it comes down to mental health issues more than
Yeah,
anything.
it really does.
Um, it's a shame as well. Like obviously, like I don't like the feeling of like being in a rough area, but everyone's sort of banding together and things are going well. So hopefully we can get her out of here. And then I have like hopes and dreams to like go and stay in Asia, like go to Korea and go to Japan or whatever. But once she's in a better position, then I can go
Yeah,
and do my own thing. Because when she came back and I wasn't here initially, I felt bad. So I don't really want to deal with that. And besides, like my setup is good. Like my room's a bit cramped because all of this shit was like spread out in an apartment before.
yeah.
But now I've got my arcade scene, my arcade cabinet there. I've got a workstation over here. All my gaming stuff is over here. My PC stuff is all here. So it's a bit cramped, but it's all right.
Yeah. I feel that though. I've thought about like moving. Like my end goal, it's a dumb American end goal. I want to have a ranch one day.
Mm,
Kind of hard to do that in Virginia, if you're not in like Montana or some shit like that. But like, I can't leave the old man, You never know
yeah.
if he's going to need me.
No, I understand that family comes first,
Yeah.
but there'll come a time where we all have to move on, unfortunately, and I'm not in any particular rush. I'm happy to,
Yeah.
because I'm the oldest in my house, and I'm one of the oldest cousins in the UK. Like I've only got one other cousin that's older than me, and she's always in Ireland. So I don't mind being like the if people need something, they can come to me.
Yeah. That's how it is with my family. Like even my mom, like when she's having trouble with my little brother who's 19, she calls me. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a good fit. Like I sometimes I'll walk around the house because I've got Ellie and Chelsea here, and my mum obviously, and I'll walk around and they'll be talking, and I'll walk into them and be like, "The patriarch is in the room, show some respect," and they just throw something at my head.
That's great. Yeah, I have a couple other siblings that I don't unfortunately talk to. So I'm like, with my little brother, I am the oldest. Even with my
Okay.
other siblings, I'm the oldest. So like, if anything ever needs to be done, everybody calls me. If somebody's got to go to the hospital, at 2 o'clock in the
Mm.
mornings, calling me, which fuck, they took care of me.
Yeah, yeah, it's like O'Brien said, it's nice being the man of the house.
Yeah,
It's nice looking after people. So when Fate uses it as a dig, I'm just like, I don't know what man would feel insulted about looking after their family, but again, he doesn't provide, so I get it.
that's a hell of an. I I I haven't seen in recent times an insult backfire on somebody so hard because that's
He's,
rough.
he said it, and I was like, what a dumb thing to say.
Jesus. Eric Hess, hell yeah, Tooten. I was an infantryman in the army with 2 tours in Iraq. I actually really wanted to join the military, dude. I have asthma, and kept me out. Um, two
Yeah,
tours in
I
Iraq,
wanted to as well.
huh?
I wanted to as well. My cousins in Cyprus are all in the military, and when I was working in, we've got a place over here called Silverstone. It's a racetrack, and the military were there, and they approached me, and I really, really considered it. They gave me the Army Reserve stuff,
Yeah,
and I did go a couple times. Like I joined. Well, no, I didn't join. I had taken their stuff, and I went to speak to them. So I went to their one of their
recruiter.
quarters in central London.
Yeah,
But with everything going on, I was like, "Ah, I can't commit to this, but I know I should because it seems like the world is heading down
yeah.
that path, and maybe I should learn this stuff. But yeah, I just haven't got around to it.
I really wanted to. Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and like, man,
Mm.
fucking asthma has just kept me out of it.
Yeah, it sucks when there's like things out of your control that you
Yeah,
can't really do anything about. I wanted to get into it because of Top Gun. I watched Top
Top
Gun when I
Gun.
was a kid, and I was like, I want to be Maverick.
Oh man, I hate to even admit it, but Call of Duty, the old Call of Duty stories, right? Like Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, I was like, damn, that's cool. I want to be special forces.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I can see how like certain games can influence you in that direction. There was a game. There was a oh, it was Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor
Yeah,
got me into it as well.
that was one of the first games I've ever played. My mom had an old I think it was a fucking it couldn't have been PS2. It had to have been though. Medal of Honor Frontlines.
Yeah,
And I
that
just
was a good game.
remember I tried the D-Day stage. I tried like a million times to get by, and I made my mom play the whole game while I watched.
I can't get my mom to play anything other than Crash Bandicoot.
My mom started to upload GTA 3 videos recently. I'm like, all right, mom, go ahead, get
Oh,
it.
your mom's doing YouTube content.
Yeah, bro. She's no commentary or anything, but like she's uploading like long playthroughs of GTA 3. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's sick. Dude. You should plug her channel. You should
I'm
put it in
gonna
the
have
chat.
to. I gotta remember what it is. I'll actually do it right now. Just give her an influx of people.
Yeah, that's sick. I'll put her in my Discord.
Let's see. Let me see if I can fucking find it. She's gonna be like, where the fuck did all these motherfuckers come from? Oh, I hope I can find it.
I wanted to join the army once too, but Saving Private Ryan put me off. Oh yeah, no, dude, that beach
Yeah.
scene is horrifying. What's that? What was the other film called? Came out not too long ago. It's about when they stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Ah,
Dunkirk. That was it.
yeah.
Oh my God, Dunkirk is like I've seen some horror movies that are less frightening than Dunkirk. Dunkirk was a horror show.
The one the one movie that I watched, it's like, damn, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, I never want to fucking do it. Is
Hmm.
Fury? Have you ever seen that one?
No, I don't think I've seen Fury.
It's about it's got Shia LaBeouf, John Bernthal, Brad Pitt, and it's about a tank crew in World War II.
Hmm.
And it's probably my favorite war movie. Period.
Where can I watch it? Because I like war films. I'll probably pop this on tonight.
Let me see. Fury.
Fury. Oh, it's on Netflix. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I love war films. I watched a war film not too long ago, and it was so depressing. Let me find it.
Sorry, chat. I can't find my mom's channel. She might have texted it to my wife, and that's where it's at.
I think it was called All Quiet on the Western Front.
I think I've heard of it. Yeah,
It was a recent film. I'm not sure it was that actually. I think it was like a French film or a German film or something,
yeah,
and it was about how it was showing you from the Germans' perspective, the boys that were being sent out to war and they were being fed all this propaganda,
yeah,
and you see it from their perspective how they were so happy to fight for their country, and then at the end how the war had changed them. And there's one scene in that film that is so depressing to watch. And funnily enough, I don't know if you saw on X or Twitter, the Russian and the Ukrainian guy
oh
fighting
my
each other,
god,
and
yes, yeah,
exactly what happens in that is what happens in the film. And I watched the Ukrainian and the Russian guy fighting each other, and I was like, oh my god, that's literally what happened in the film.
yeah,
Like it was horrifying and it was horrifying in the film because the guy that won the fight felt bad, and the other guy's on the floor like choking out, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've got a family," like blah blah blah,
yeah,
and then you just realize that like we're just guys fighting for a country that doesn't give a shit about us.
exactly, yeah. Um, that Ukrainian and Russian fight, like, I'm pretty desensitized to shit. I am, because of how I grew up. But
Mm.
like, that was hard to watch. That was super hard to watch.
Yeah, that was like a wasn't like a wake up call because I've always been like, why don't these politicians go do the fighting themselves? They send
Yeah.
out young men to die, but
Why don't the presidents
the
fight the
respect
wars?
that he yeah, like the respect they showed each other afterwards was like also it wasn't something that I hadn't seen before because you kind of see it on like a smaller scale when guys fight in real life and they just use fists and the better man wins and you shake hands.
Yeah.
And when he said to him, "Oh, you've beaten me. Just leave me here to like, die. You're the best fighter in the world. I love you." Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Let me say goodbye
I
to the
was like
sky.
single man to him,
Yeah.
man. Like I don't want to
Like,
watch
holy
this.
shit. That's
Yeah, it was
another
rough.
really good war movie if you've never seen it. Hacksaw Ridge. Holy fuck,
Oh yeah,
dude.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my god.
that's yeah, that's a good film. Have you
But
seen? Is it 1918?
1917 or
1917. Yeah.
yeah, I've been wanting to, dude, like, with having kids and shit, I sit down and watch, like, I do my content creation now, and then me and my wife will sit down and watch anime at night. We're watching original Bleach. I've never seen it right now. I just never have time
Oh,
for movies
good
anymore.
times. No, I hear you, man. Like I don't watch anime anymore when I'm just sitting around, or like I watch wrestling as well.
Yeah,
And obviously Raw and SmackDown collectively over the week, that's like 5 hours of content.
yeah,
So the only way I can watch anime and wrestling now, whilst doing my content creation and also going to the gym and work, so excuse me, is getting on the treadmill and be like, okay, today's my cardio day. I'll
yeah,
do an hour and a half of cardio. I'll watch a bunch of stuff I've missed. That way, I've killed two birds with one stone. But in terms of like sitting around and watching stuff, maybe if I get in bed but end up falling asleep in 20 minutes. So
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't happen often.
That's the only way I get to, like, catch up on shit. I have severe insomnia, so I'm like, even with sleeping medicine, I'm up most of the night. So I'm like, all right, I'll just catch up on shit. Yeah, while I'm laying here,
Yeah,
can't sleep.
yeah, it's rough. I mean, I'm very obviously very grateful for the content creation stuff, but
Yeah,
the only thing I'd say is that some YouTubers say it's difficult and it's hard. It's not. It's much easier than anything. It's just time consuming when you're trying to do
yeah,
get a specific video out and then you've also got other things to do. But that's not even a complaint. Like it's a privilege to have an audience shot to your videos because you like you'll put a video up and like I'll check back and it's already got like 200 views in like 5 minutes and I'm like, that's insane. That
Yeah.
like 200 people just clicked as soon as
Yeah.
it turned on.
Bro, I know a guy, we're not friends anymore, but I know a guy who's been trying to do content creation since we were like, we're the same age since we were like 12 years old. So 14
Mm.
years. And he's still trying it. And like, buddy's never broke 100 views. And it's like, damn, bro, like it's time consuming. You know, it can be stressful. It can take a toll on your mental watching the numbers go up and down. But at the same time, it's fucking easier than a 9 to 5. You know, like I'm
Yeah,
a home health nurse, bro. That's
yeah,
real shit.
yeah. I've got a healthy approach to content creation. I've never ever turned off a computer or finished speaking to people and been like my mental health has taken a hit. Sometimes I'll come off Twitter and I'll be like, wow, that was a lot. But then I'll just
Yeah,
put my phone down and go do something else. Um, yeah, no, the content creators that are like live streaming is difficult, difficult than 9 to 5, or content creation is more difficult. I feel like those people didn't have real jobs before they got into it, and they're just saying that. Because if you've worked in, like, I worked in a fridge at like 4 in the morning until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day when I was like trying to make ends meet and I didn't know what I wanted to do.
yeah,
And I had to trek like an hour there in the cold because the UK is always cold,
yeah,
and then work in the fridge. And then also I wanted to go gym, but I was frozen. And then get home and see if I could like play a game or hang out. And I'll come into my room like this, and I'd be like, I can't fucking move. Like my hands are frozen. So to hear people saying, "Oh, content creation is hard," is like you don't have any perspective whatsoever.
yeah. I think a lot of people, like, I definitely was of that opinion. Like, content creation is hard when I was doing Dead by Daylight, and it's because you make it hard on yourself.
Yeah,
Because all I would do was I wouldn't leave the house because I was a news channel. I'm like, if I leave the house, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna miss it. I'm not gonna get the most views. So
yeah,
I would stay at home, wouldn't go anywhere, was always on the computer thinking about videos, making thumbnails, this and that and the other. It's all I thought about, all I did. That's hard because I made it hard, you know.
mm.
But
Yeah.
like
No, definitely. I
outside of that, dude, like just doing it, like it's easy if you just
Yeah,
disconnect when you're done.
I think that uh people put too like obviously you want people to watch your content. And I get when you make a video and nobody shows up for it, it's a bit like, oh damn, I put a lot of effort into that. But
Yeah,
every content creator has to go down that road. And I remember when I first started, nobody was watching my stuff. I did a whole Spider-Man playthrough, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do it in chapters like Radbrad," and loads of people they'll come back, they'll watch this chapter, then they'll watch that chapter. To this day, some of those videos still have 0 views, and
yeah,
I was like, "Man, I really did try those videos." And then I don't know, you just got to keep on going, and if you really enjoy what you do, other people will probably see that, and then they will be like, oh, I kind of like this guy's content. And the unfortunate reality is that there's like what 80 million accounts on this website.
yes,
There's unfortunately going to be people that only get 1 or 2 views and don't break through. But I also think there's because it's online and clip culture and people clicking on and off of videos is so prevalent. There is room for a lot of people to make money and grow their audiences. You just got to find something that people are not really doing and put your own little spin on it. It hasn't got to be a massive spin, and then just go from there and try to be as nice to as many people as possible, I guess.
yeah. It's like Napper. Like Napper's kind of like up and coming. Like I'm hearing a lot of people talk about him. He's kind of got his own way of doing things in a very unique voice, and
Yeah.
I'm liking what he's doing.
Yeah, I always tell people that like ask me because I haven't got the biggest channel in the world, but I have made a point to do things a different way. So if you ever look at my content, other than like the little thing that comes out that says like, comment, and subscribe, like the little graphic,
Yeah,
um, I never ask people to do that. I don't ask people to donate. I don't ask people to share my video around the whatever. I'll just talk, and if they like it, they like it. If they want to donate, it's up to them. I'll show appreciation, and I never ever say, we need to hit 20,000 subscribers
yeah,
by 2025." Like subscribers don't generate money, and they don't increase your reach really. People have to turn on the notification bell,
Yep.
and you could have 1,000 subscribers but get 1 million views every video.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's the flip
I
side. You can
try
have 100,000 subscribers and get 1,000 views a video.
exactly. So I tried to be like, okay, what am I going to upload today that's going to capture people's attention, but also be something that I actually want to talk about.
Yeah.
And if there's nothing, I just won't upload. I just like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna upload anything. Or if like sometimes Tom Brady will message me, and he like not recently because we've been doing loads of live streams together, but he messaged me a couple of times and he was like, I want to do a live stream about this, and I was like, I don't know if I have much to say about that, Tom. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'd just be farming at that point, even
Yeah.
though he's got a lot to say on it. Well, not just Tom. I'm just using Tom as an example. Anyone, where it's like, oh, do another live stream about this because a lot of people watched. I was like, yeah, they watched that one, but if we do it again, why would they watch? You know, it
Yeah.
just feels like you're trying to farm ad revenue. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'll try to make every live stream somewhat unique. Try to change my position or change the content I'm doing slightly per video. Like the video I'm putting up after this live stream is, I'm basically calling out Tweety because he was talking shit about something he doesn't understand,
Yeah.
and he directly went after me and Tom. So that wasn't going to come out today. I wasn't going to put that. I was just going to be like, oh, I'll just do Tooten's live stream and I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
And then he started talking shit, so I was like, okay, cool.
I've actually
You wanna
seen
talk
Tom. I think he put out a video on it already. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he did, yeah.
So I was actually waiting until we got done with this to actually see what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, it's just like he said, Mike and Tom are, they're making riches from hating on Mortal Kombat. And I was like, this guy's a content creator. He understands how ad revenue works.
Yeah.
Why would you say something like that? First of all, Tom hasn't uploaded properly in 5 months, so don't know where he's getting his money from. And my videos, I'm transparent. I put the analytics, I put the recent videos and what they made in the video since
Yeah.
he wants to talk shit. And my most profitable video as of recent was my Sparking Zero videos. My Sparking Zero videos did the best.
Yeah.
One of them on their own made about £225. My Mortal Kombat videos, £19, £20,
Yeah.
£30. I'm talking about it because I want to, not because I'm like, oh, this is my cash cow.
What people don't realize is you're not making $100 on a video that gets 5,000 views. Like I didn't crack $100 with Dead by Daylight videos until I was hitting like 30 to 40,000 views.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
even then, like, it's if people click on the video and watch half of it, you make even less because they're not watching the whole video.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just spinning like bullshit narratives that make no sense. So I was like, okay, well, and I've put in the video that like if he wants to bring up our analytics on live stream because he seems to think me and Tom are making riches from talking about Mortal Kombat, we can. The videos that have made me the most money are Tekken and Sparking Zero. In the short time that I spoke about Sparking Zero, yeah, Tekken and Sparking Zero are the ones that made the most, not Mortal Kombat. There's been Mortal Kombat videos that have made good money, don't get me wrong, but on average, a 10,000 view video is not gonna pay your rent or anything.
No, it's not. It's like I said, it takes like thousands and thousands of views. Like we're putting out these Mortal Kombat videos because like we're passionate about it. Like me, I'm transparent. I'll tell chat right now. Let's see. We'll use one of my most popular videos in the past fucking month, which was my True Underdog video. And we'll use just a regular video, my problems with Mortal Kombat 1, which is like one of my best videos that was just talking about it. 2,000 views. I made $4 on that video, chat.
Yeah.
The True Underdog video. Where the fuck did it go?
George said, what got you the most attention? George, what got me the most attention was talking about Johnny Somali.
I noticed
so it wasn't
that.
even gaming related. Those videos on Johnny Somali made a lot of money because even though they were like, they had like collectively, I think there's like 100,000 views between all of them. The subscribers that I got from that are still here watching now because they're like, oh, we stuck around for your gaming stuff, they're still here. Like, there's a girl that always watches my stuff called Mistra, who I met through that because I was talking about what he's doing over in Korea.
Excuse me.
So in terms of like what got me the most attention, it was the Joey Somali situation. Those series of videos, I gained tons of subscribers from that.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoken about it since because there's nothing to speak about now. We don't know what's going on with him. When there's an update, I will speak about it. If I wanted to farm subscribers and money, that was what I could have gone down. I could have just continued down that road.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't understand is, especially I've noticed with you, because you have 19,000, almost 20,000 subscribers, I think. Last time I looked.
I've got like 18.3.
18.3. Like, you're eclipsing channels like mine who have like 6,000 to 7,000 more subscribers because you have built a community who is there for you. That is more valuable than pulling in $20 to like $30 on a hit piece video, right? Like, you're making content that you want to watch and people are coming and staying for you.
Yeah. I think that's why I was telling people, don't focus too much on subscribers. Try to focus on what your audience is talking about.
Yeah.
And not so much what's trending, but what means something to you.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that my Johnny Somali videos did so well is because you could hear, and people want to talk about hate. I would say if you want to see me hating on someone, that is a video you can watch. You can hear the hate in my voice and the disdain that I have for him.
Yeah.
And it's not like I lied in it either. He's a terrible person. So yeah, like I just do whatever I feel like on the day, and sometimes it doesn't land. Like, I made a Bleach video because I wanted to explore the mechanics of Bleach with this other guy on camera and show it to people because it's like a more in-depth arena fighter.
Yeah.
And the video got like 3,000 views. So like a 3,000 view video, you're gonna make like what, £2 on it maybe?
Yeah, $3 or $4.
Yeah, and then I had people in Bleach going, "Oh look, he's grifting for Bleach now," and I was like,
God damn. Fucking idiots.
Like, seriously.
Guys, I hate to cut this short, but my wife just came back here. Apparently my brother's getting shipped off to the Marines tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we just found out, so I'm gonna go talk to him and spend some time with him before he leaves.
Okay, no, that's as good a reason as any to hop off.
Yeah, she just popped in. I'm like, fuck, okay. But yeah. Mike, it was a genuine pleasure talking to you, dude. I've really enjoyed your content since I've been, paying attention and been back, dude. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you to your chat. It was a good chat. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we do it again sometime.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm absolutely down. Thank you to George for hating for almost 3 hours, brother. Appreciate you too.
George is the GOAT, man. He was committed.
He was committed, bro.
All right, guys. See you later, too, and take care, chat.
Take care, man. Let's switch over to chat cam real quick. I want to talk to you guys for just a second, and I'm going to go holler at my brother, bro. I'm going to go holler at my brother. Goddamn. Little brother. Oh, man. Oh. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for chilling. If it wasn't for you guys, I took notes. If it wasn't for you guys, me and Mike probably wouldn't be talking. Like, you guys made it clear that you wanted to hear us talk, so I appreciate that. I really like Mike. I think it was a great conversation. He's a really cool dude. I agree with most of what he says, and that makes it really easy to talk to somebody for sure. But at the same time, I just like him. I don't know. There's something about him. I just like him. But dudes, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go holler at my brother. I will be live again in 2 days. I stream every other day. We're gonna be playing, I don't know, some Street Fighter 6 or some shit maybe. I'm not sure. Hanging out, talking about shit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you dudes next time. Peace out. Yo, I'm already standing up. Mike, thanks for becoming a member, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the chat, dude. I appreciate you becoming a member. I had a lot of fun, and I hope to do it again, bro. I hope to do it again. Have a good night, guys. Thank you again, Mike.